Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Queen City, where champions are crowned, where speed meets history. 1.5 miles of action that has tested the best for over 6 decades. This isn't just another race. This is America's home for racing. This is Charlotte Motor Speedway. Louder than ever. You're not going to want to miss a second of the action here in Charlotte. Live. Only on Doghouse Racing TV. This is Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Queen City, welcome to the Group 6 Cup Series, and welcome to the Shoney's 300 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, live on Doghouse Racing TV. We are thrilled to have you in here with us for what is sure to be a night of action, 300 miles here at Charlotte. Gonna be a great night of action here in the Group 6 Cup Series. Before we get too far into the action, want to be sure that we give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors here that make this whole thing happen. We are so proud to have Group 6 as our Cup Series sponsor, as always, for this year. Thank you to Group 6 for being our series sponsor for the Doghouse Racing League every single race here on Thursday nights. Group 6 is a leading creative agency, and they are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com. That is GROUP, 6, INC.com, and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks to Group 6 for being the series sponsor this year once again. And as stated a few minutes ago, this is the Shoney's 300 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, so a huge shout out to longtime sponsor and friend of the Doghouse Racing League, Shoney's. We are very proud over here to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service, and a friend of the brand since 1947. Maybe not a friend of the brand since 1947, but they've been around since 1947. And in a weird kind of full circle moment that is really satisfying. I remember eating at Shoney's as a kid and just thinking it was the best thing ever. And now I get to read their ad reads every week, so look at how life goes. We are also very proud to be sponsored over here in the Group 6 Cup Series on Doghouse Racing by Butt Kicker. If you want to take your iRacing or racing simulator experience to the next level, be sure to get on over to their website at thebuttkicker.com for the very best in racing haptics. If you are trying to take your racing to the next level, be sure to check them out over there, and we are very proud and happy that they are a sponsor over here of the Doghouse Racing League. Once again, welcome to Doghouse Racing TV, here for the Thursday night Group 6 Cup Series. As always, my name is Hunter Foley. I'm up here with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, and we are thrilled to be bringing you this race here tonight. Be sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss a single second of the action. And be sure to cheer on your drivers, as always, in the comments. We got a long race ahead of us tonight, and I'm sure these drivers would love to be able to go back and hear some of the motivation of you guys throwing them in the comments. As always, B-Mac out there saying everyone rested up. Show them what you got. Team Beast Mode Performance. Have a super race, Andrew, number 12 with lots of red hearts. B-Mac always, I think, the first one in there with the support. We appreciate it. And I know BMP and Andrew do as well. But let me go ahead and quit yapping. Let's get it over to my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith. John, talk to me about Charlotte. Talk to me about what these guys are going to be experiencing tonight.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a super long race here at Charlotte tonight. This is the Charlotte 300 mile-and-a-half track, so we're going 200 laps here on this kind of tri-oval track. Kind of resembles an Atlanta, almost like a Texas, but somewhere in between. Pretty fun track to drive, but it will tear up your tires. I've ran here a few times this week now, and it's deceiving. Like, you're out here and you think you're fast, and about 10 laps later you got massive fall off. So it's going to be a lot of tire saving, a lot of managing the tires, especially with this long race. I'm looking at our Discord chat here with the Doghouse group, and I believe they're saying we have 12 sets of tires, if that's correct. Am I reading that right?
Unfortunately not. The Cup cars are allowed 12 sets for the 600-mile race.
Oh, so we're going to
They're
6.
They're doing 5 sets instead of 3.
That's what I read. Okay. But I say 12 sets seems kind of aggressive for that, but yeah, 5 sets, so that should get you through. I mean, you're going to probably use them all by the end of it. It's just you're going to have a lot of fall off here. And it's just the fun part about this track is this multi-groove track. So you can run the high side, you can run the low side. It just kind of depends on where your car is feeling best at.
100%. We've broadcasted a couple races here at Charlotte, and it really is interesting to see how the different lines open up as the night goes on, as the track warms up or cools down, depending on what we're dealing with. I know we got about 94 degrees out on the track right now. So actually pretty ideal conditions for trying to rip it around here at Charlotte, but definitely going to be super interesting to see how this thing opens up at night. You and me have actually been out on the track at Charlotte, and we both know how when you start getting up closer to that high side, it just really wants to send you up into that Charlotte sign up there. But either way, definitely going to be an exciting time here tonight. A couple other changes that are going to be going on because it is a longer race here in the Doghouse Racing League. Like we just mentioned a few minutes ago, we are going to have 5 available sets of tires instead of typically 3. Normally, we would have 21X as the incident limit. We are going to do 25 tonight, just in case of any extra potential damage that can come over a longer race. But those are just a couple of the changes that we're going to have here tonight. Either way, sure to be a really, really exciting night. Very competitive. I know a lot of people love running here at Charlotte, so excited to see what happens. Saw Jamie Horn putting down some incredibly fast times in practice, but saw a lot of other guys out there as well putting some pretty crazy times down. Kevin Thompson, 29.2 in practice. That, I believe, is going to be fastest or one of the fastest out there tonight. Andrew St. Cyr with a 29.3. Again, very, very fast out there. See how that translates over to the qualifying as that gets started right now.
Yeah, looks like Adam Gardner's coming out here and putting down a nice lap. Going to get him in the pole position for now at a 29.69. Eric Anderson about a 10th behind him. Bill Gentry throwing down a nice lap there. St. Cyr jumping up to the second place spot as he finishes his first lap, looking to improve. Jamie Horn now going to jump to the top in this qualifying run. It's like Tony Martin just hit his second lap. That's going to put him in P4. As he shuts that thing down. Simon finishing his second lap in second.
And Charlotte's definitely going to be one of those tracks. I was noticing kind of the variance in time. So we already go from 29.4 to 30.3. But we talked about it before. A lot of drivers use their first lap in qualifying as kind of a hot lap. Get that thing warmed up. Make sure you pick the line that you want to run on. And I think you can kind of see that in the variance in times there. Got some more comments out here. Sea-Dog saying Thompson, number 6, got this one. He's definitely going to be starting up towards the front, so he's got as good a chance as anybody. And then Nick Potter saying, me racing at Kentucky.
Trying to see who's coming around right now. Just McMahon's going to jump up to that 7th place spot. Kevin Thompson putting down a nice lap. Going to put him in that pole position over Jamie Horn. Adam Thompson here trying to finish up his second lap, improve on that first one. Currently sitting in 14th position right now. Looking a little faster on the Delta for this lap. See if he can hold on to it.
Yeah, Kevin Thompson actually just beat his best practice time by over a tenth. So Kevin definitely got something figured out here. Definitely looking like it's going to be a good night for the Beast Mode Performance guys. Still got a couple people out there who don't look like they've put down a qualifying time just yet. But we do still have some people drifted in here. Eric Warman with a great qualifying time, 29.4. We're going to put him in 5th spot currently.
Yeah, right now.
Was our race winner on Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, Charlotte, he was. Yes. I got to enjoy the first 9 laps of that race before I had to get sent to the pits. But it's always a fun time here, man. It's tough coming out of that corner, especially turn 2, floating up to the wall. Turn 4 can get really slick sometimes too. Sometimes it can get really tight trying to get out of there as the run goes on. It just depends on how you drive it. I would like to jump on board with the drivers. They're going through. There is a bump as you're going into turn 1, kind of like a little hill. And you're going to see a lot of these drivers push it until they hit that hill and let off once they get past it. It seems pretty deep into the corner when you let off, but it's going to give you your best run. Maybe not save the best tires, but there is a possibility if you hit that hump just a little bit off, maybe with like a little less fuel, a little old tires, it could spin that car.
100%. Another thing we got to watch out for here tonight is the cautions, and especially over the course of a longer race than we would typically be doing here on Thursday nights in the Group 6 Cup Series. I've seen Charlotte go pretty much caution-free the entire time, and I've also seen, I think, the second most cautions I've ever seen on a iRacing race at Charlotte. So definitely going to be very curious to see how this ends up buffing out here tonight. Normally we see a lot of very, very safe driving out of the Doghouse Racing League guys, so be very, very curious to see how this ends up going.
While the qualifying is over and we are starting to do a warm-up, let me pull up the point standings, your current point standings right now for you, so we can take a look following last week's win at Kansas. Was it last week? It was 2 weeks ago. My weeks are off. Shane Parrish picking it up at Kansas 2 weeks ago. First place, Josh Cully finishing second place there, and Daniel Wilkerson also grabbing a podium spot. It's going to shake up the board just a little bit, as you see here on our championship, or our standings right here, as we're about almost halfway through the season now. Currently have Seth Fitzpatrick sitting in first place. Jamie Horn is going to be your second place driver in the standings. Andrew St. Cour still looking for that first win, sitting in third place. Justin McMahon, fourth place, also looking for that first win. Been knocking on the door for a while. Shane Parrish with 4 wins. He moved up quite a bit over the past few weeks, up into that 5th place spot. I believe he was about 12th last 3 weeks ago. Jonathan Jennings sitting in 6th. He is down 2 spots. Kevin Thompson 7th. Eric Warman in 8th. Adam Thompson in 9th. And Cameron King's going to wrap up that top 10 for you, as we're probably about halfway through. Not even halfway. We're on race 11. So we're getting closer to halfway. But a lot of time for these drivers to make up some points. A lot of time for some of these drivers to fall off in points, too, if some bad luck decides to go their way.
100%. And then a couple things to mention there, and you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm just looking at the board that I have here. I don't believe Seth Fitzpatrick is currently in the lobby for this race. I don't believe Shane Parrish is currently in the lobby for this race. And I don't believe Jonathan Jennings is either.
That is interesting. I do not see any of those 3 people right now. You know, I'm also not seeing Britt McCoy in here either. Do we have a Josh Cully? I don't see a Josh Cully right now.
We do not.
So a lot of strong drivers higher up in the points not going to be starting this race tonight, which is definitely going to shake it up.
Definitely going to shake it up here tonight, but either way, still plenty of good drivers out here on the field. I believe we have, we got 14 people out in the stream right now. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Doghouse Racing League really appreciates it. And all these drivers appreciate it as well. I know a lot of these guys love being able to go back and watch this thing and hear the comments, see how they did with their teammates and things like that. So we appreciate y'all being here and hope you are in here for the long haul with us, just like we are. So go ahead and grab your popcorn if you hadn't. Go grab you a cold beverage of your choice, and it's sure to be a good night of racing over here. We will get you over to the qualifying standings as soon as we start to grid them up here.
This is very interesting to me that some of these drivers aren't here tonight. And I mean, if you're guys like St. Core, Chris Simon, Justin McMahon, this is your night to really take advantage of that. This is where you're going to jump up in points a lot, looking for a really good finish. You don't ever want to think that one race matters more than the other, but when you have certain leaders in the points that are out, this is the night to capitalize, really get the most bang for your buck. Just drive it like you mean it.
Oh, 100%. And it's kind of that weird, unique situation of, all these people are still working jobs and have all these things going on. So it's unfortunate that we couldn't have some of those drivers join us tonight, obviously, but obviously they got some life stuff going on that can't have them here tonight. And I'm sure we're looking forward to having them back next week. But in a situation like this, exactly like you said, this is a huge chance for guys who are either right there on the playoff cutoff or up there in the top 10 wanting to get their way into the top 5. Tonight's your night to do it. Like you just said, Andrew St. Core, Justin McMahon, Chris Simon, Eric Warman, Jamie Horn, Kevin Thompson, Adam Thompson, all those guys been working their way up. Tonight's your night to go get it done. And I believe we had 18 drivers put down a qualifying lap. We do have 21 drivers in the lobby here with us tonight. We did not get a qualifying lap from Gary Clune, Joe McKnight, or Cameron King.
Looks like Cameron King didn't even put down a lap during the warm-up session as well. So maybe he's trying to hide his cards, play it close to the chest there, and put it all down here in a second. But we are about to grid up here, so we'll try to get camera on some of these guys as they line up. There we go. Got some guys starting to line up now here.
Definitely going to be, like we were talking about earlier, definitely going to be an exciting 200 laps of action here at Charlotte. But John, why don't you go ahead and hit me with your pick for Charlotte tonight?
My pick for tonight. Let's get the grid first so I can look at it.
Fair enough. Got Thorn Hillside in the comments saying volume level between the two of you is very different. Which one is more different?
It's probably mine. Being lower.
I was going to say, and if anyone else out there, if you see something audio-wise, video-wise that needs some adjusting, definitely feel free to hop in the comments and let us know. Which one of us is more quiet, which one of us needs to be kind of squared up there. And then also, while you're already typing in the comments, be sure to drop your pick for our winner here tonight.
Why don't you go ahead and grid us off so I try to adjust this volume stuff here.
I can make that happen. Well, your poll winner for tonight here for the Shoney's 300 is going to be Kevin Thompson of Beast Mode Motorsports. Put down the best qualifying time and by almost a tenth. So great run out of him in qualifying. Second place is going to be the 98 machine of Jamie Horn. Third place, we are going to have the 71 of Adam Thompson. Fourth place is going to be the 90 of Zachary Miller for Horn Simpson Racing. 31 machine of Eric Warman is going to be in fifth. Christopher Simon, our first Shoney's racing team driver, is going to be in sixth. Adam Gardner is going to be seventh. Eric Anderson in eighth. Justin McMahon in ninth. And Mike Leftwich, another member of the Shoney's racing team, rounding out the top 10. Kevin Brown is going to be starting 11th, Tony Martin in 12th, Nicholas Atwood in 13th, Mark Dumont in 14th, Andrew St. Cyr in 15th, right there, 2 spots behind his Beast Mode Performance teammate. Bill Gentry in 16th, Stephen Bonomo in 17th, Daniel Wilkerson, race admin, in 18th. And then we have Cameron King, Gary Clune, and Joe McKnight in the 19th, 20th, and 21st positions. None of them put down a qualifying lap. Gary Clune is out on the track. Cameron King and Joe McKnight are not currently.
So I looked into it, and I think I was actually more loud than you were. Usually it's the opposite.
So it sounds good now. I appreciate you letting us know. Sean Thompson saying, Kevin Thompson, let's go. We are gridded up, and we have them in a line, and we are about ready to get going here at Charlotte. The pace car is off. The Shoney's 300 about to be underway here. Green flag racing. Kevin Thompson, your pole winner. Starting out in first, but immediately taken over by the 98 machine of Jamie Horn. Right behind them, Adam Thompson and Zachary Miller already fighting for that third position. I might have seen a little touch on the wall there by the 43 machine of Eric Anderson back there in 8th.
My apologies, I'm still trying to mess with this volume, make sure we got it right. Yeah, feel free to let us know any volume issues. This is one thing that's hard for us to control during the middle of the stream, but got some good racing going on so far. Just looking through the pack here. Guys are kind of starting to straighten out. We were about 3 wide for a second ago. Got the 98 Jamie Horn on the bottom side of Adam Thompson trying to take that spot away. His teammate Zach Miller. Actually, Jamie Horn is the team owner for Zach Miller's car there. Out in second place. We saw him a few weeks ago have a rocket ship early on.
He definitely did. And then Jamie Horn, who immediately took off there and took the first position, is now fall back to 4th. I don't know if it's tire saving strategy or what he's planning on doing there, but now Kevin Thompson and Zachary Miller side by side for 1st and 2nd. Adam Thompson sitting right there in the 3rd position. I think he's trying to figure out which lane he wants to work as this race goes on. And I can officially say as well that Joe McKnight and Cameron King did not start the race. So that will give us 19 drivers out here racing with us tonight.
Chris Simon on the high side there. Looks like he's going to lose some spots unless he gets a good run coming out of here on the high side of Mike Leftwich. Right behind him, Tony Martin trying to fight for a spot there. Kevin Brown's going to look to the inside of the number 2 car, Tony Martin. Martin gets a good run.
Looked like we started seeing maybe someone get a little bit loose over there in the middle. Looks like Eric Warman there making a move to get around the 24 of Justin McMahon, trying to get into the 6th position. Now he's going to be knocking on Jamie Horn's door there in 5th.
That's Adam Gardner right there on the bottom side of McMahon too, trying to follow suit behind him.
Very spread out here tonight, almost immediately. And a lot of times we'll see, especially like right on restart, Charlotte can get super bunched up, and you see guys kind of flying every which way trying to figure out which lane they need to be in. But not to jinx anything, but it seems like everything was very, very smooth right there from the get-go. And we do have a new race leader, Zachary Miller, has taken the first position away from Kevin Thompson and has taken off almost 0.7 of a second of a lead already just here in the last 2 laps.
Yeah, something you got to watch out for, though, is you can burn them up super quick here.
That's definitely going to be one thing that I'm going to be trying to keep my eye on as this race goes on. One of those things that maybe you thought about it during practice, thought you had a good understanding of where you could be in terms of tires, and then you end up getting in here and 25 laps in, you end up completely burning a hole in them. Especially if maybe you were counting on there being quite a few cautions, and right now with everyone kind of spreading out like they have been, not exactly the prime real estate for cautions.
We also have Eric Anderson, who is up 4 spots tonight, sitting in P4, holding off Adam Thompson. Well, Adam Gardner, I'm sorry, trying to chase down Adam Thompson.
Pretty sure I saw Eric Anderson get a little bit loose there, like right on the restart too. So good for him for locking it back down. Currently up 4 spots. Also got Nicholas Atwood currently up. That's going to be 6 spots. Started 13th, moved up to 7th. There in that 91 machine for beast mode performance. Everyone else sitting pretty similar to where they started. Eric Anderson, like we said, up 4 spots, and then Zachary Miller started in 4th and is now leading the race by almost 1.5 seconds at this point. He has found a lane he liked and is ripping it.
Yeah, some guy that hasn't been in a good spot this race right now is Chris Simon. He is down 7 spots in that 13th position. Could be a strategy. It's very early into the race. I mean, we're only 12 laps in, but definitely looking to save tires. I know Chris is very good at saving tires. That might be a strategy. Same thing with Jamie Horn, down 6 spots. Could be following the same strategy there. Then you also have Tony Martin, who is down 7 spots, sitting in 19th.
Yeah, like you said, it could be a strategy. It might just be that we're more comfortable sitting more towards the back, but with 200 laps here at Charlotte and 5 sets of tires, you're looking at about every 40 laps, you're able to get a new set of tires, and you can definitely start noticing some pretty serious fall off here at Charlotte after 40 laps.
Yeah, I think the fall off here, well, I mean, with the open cells might be a little different, but I think by lap 20, you're going to start seeing some pretty big fall off.
Fall off is not something that is currently a concern of Zachary Miller's. Trying to get that lead out to almost 2 seconds here. About 1.8 that last time by. Adam Thompson sitting back there about 2.5 seconds back. Eric Anderson in 4th, right at 3 seconds. And then Eric Warman, little over 3 seconds back in 5th.
Yeah, he's making a move for 4th.
Currently trying to, he's trying to work his way around Eric Anderson right there. Looks like he's got a hot rod here tonight.
Garner's going to do the same thing. Might see Atwood try the same move here in just a second. Atwood's got some damage to the front of that car. Oh yeah, looks like that nose is pushed in just a little bit.
I mean, just barely, but I can see it. What if that happened on the initial green flag?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else. Doesn't seem to be affecting him too much, though, as he's going to move up into that 6th place position.
I believe that's going to currently make him our biggest mover out there on the track, up 7 positions from where he started. Kevin Thompson looking like he might be closing that gap in a little bit, which, like we were just talking about, might be a result of saving tires a little bit better. He was almost 2 seconds behind on lap 15, down to 1.6 on that lead now. Same thing for Adam Thompson, was about 3 seconds back. Moved that up to 2.3, and that's just here in the last 2 laps.
And I'm showing him even closer right now. I got 1.18 for Kevin Thompson. So like, it's kind of what I was talking about lap 20, man. You're going to have like a lot of fall off if you push it too hard. Yeah, I ran here earlier this week with a different setup from these open setup guys, but I mean by lap 10 to 15, I was noticing about half a second of fall off.
Which is crazy that you can notice that much fall off that quick. And Zachary Miller looks like he is just ripping it up there on the high side. Obviously getting a ton of speed up there, but I mean that lead has fallen off by a second, over a second now, here just in the past few laps. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on here over the course of the night.
Like Eric
Warman. Anderson, I was going to say Eric Warman looking like he's starting to work his way up there. He's right there on that bumper of Adam Thompson, trying to see if he can get his way around and get that third spot.
Let's see if we can hop on board with Eric Warman here. Changing gears in the setup too. Using a little bit of that engine brake to get around turn 1 and 2 there. It's like Chris Simon's trying to make a move here on Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown's looking on the high side of Mike Leftwich a little bit further back. We're looking at here at the P13, 12, and 11 spots.
And we do officially have a new race leader. Kevin Thompson has overtaken Zachary Miller and immediately started putting some distance on him. Immediately put 0.3 of a second of a gap between them two. And Adam Thompson now was 3 seconds back on Zachary Miller just about 6 laps ago. Is now making the pass on the inside, and he is going to take that second position this time around.
Ooh, somebody's on the low side there. That was Adam Gardner. I don't know if he just shot low on purpose or got loose coming off. They got close there too.
Yeah, it looks like he's stuck down there on the low side. He maybe doesn't want to be. You can see he's definitely trying to look back up there and get up into the high side. There's his gap right there, and he's immediately going to take it. Oh, big wobble out of Adam Gardner. He's all the way on the inside of the apron.
I don't think he technically got the grass, so he's not going to win our John Deere award tonight. Not yet. There's still time for anybody and anybody to claim it.
Anybody to claim it. Just saw a big touch of the wall there by that 60 machine. That's going to be Mike Leftwich. He's back going straight again, but he was stuck on that wall for a good 2 seconds there.
Yeah, he's fell back just a little bit, sitting 4 spots down right now, kind of moving up around Andrew St. Cour, who I'm kind of surprised to see so far back after the fast times he had. But again, could be a strategy that this guy's using out here. Save some tire up, but you only got about 15 laps. About time to start pushing it, so you probably need a pit.
100%. And then you got Kevin Thompson up there. Now put about a half a second on Adam Thompson, who's sitting back there in second. Eric Warman now also moved into the third position. Zachary Miller falling back to fourth now. And he's got his team owner, I guess, Jamie Horn, right back there. Well, it was right there back behind him. Jamie Horn now working his way forward. Just saw a big pop of the wall by Zachary Miller there.
Yeah, something tells me his tires don't agree with him right now.
Yeah, I think they might be a little angry.
But it's your first stint. I mean, go out there and run it, see what you can do, see what the other guys have, and just judge it from there. It's a long race.
Be able to kind of figure out what you have in the tank and what everyone else might have in the tank. And I think maybe Zachary Miller's realizing maybe we pushed it a little too hard, too quick. He touches the wall again right there. I think he's definitely having a little bit of trouble with maybe how loose that thing's getting on him.
Anderson's getting eat up back here. Gary Clune gets around him. St. Cour's around him. Gardner's looking to the high side. Mike Leftwich is going to try to follow.
Oh, big wobble out of the 33 of Kevin Brown.
They're going to stack up here.
It is going to get a little bit close racing here. Andrew St. Cour at the front of this little parade here. He's trying to run down Mark Dumont, who's currently up 5 spots from where he started in 14th and 9th. He's trying to chase down Christopher Simon, who's up there in the 8th position.
And someone who's turned the boosters on is Gary Clune right here in 11th spot. He is up 8 spots for the night. Kind of hung back a little bit. Now he's pushing his way forward.
And there's definitely something to be said for that strategy here. We're seeing guys who maybe pushed it a little hard at the beginning, and especially when you consider that in the Doghouse Racing League on Group 6 Cup Series, there is no points for each lap led. It's just points for leading laps. And so when you take that into account, I mean, obviously you want to lead as many laps as possible. If you ain't first, you're last. But there really is no points benefit to leading every single lap. You just got to lead the last one.
I love that strategy. I just saw Steve Bonoma make a really good move. Oh, Anderson's into the side of Leftwich. They're through the grass. Leftwich is able to keep it straight for now.
Eric Anderson just cut a little bit of grass there.
Leftwich is back on the track now. Coming around turn 1. Your race leaders are coming around turn 4 here, so they're going to catch up with him pretty quickly. See if we can flash back to that really quick to see what happened. Looks like Anderson popped the wall, came down on Leftwich. Anderson keeps it straight through the grass. Leftwich is having a little bit of trouble keeping it straight.
I mean, good job on both of those guys to keep it from getting too much damage. It looks like maybe Mike's having a little bit of trouble getting it all the way up to speed right now. But Eric's back on the track and it looks like he's pushing forward. But they are both going to be in a little bit of lap danger here in the next couple of laps. Jamie Horn now all the way going up there to the front. He's now racing side by side with Kevin Thompson. Oh, they get a little close there. Touch of the wall there by Kevin Thompson. But they are out in front all by themselves. Adam Thompson going to be in 3rd place. He's about 2 seconds behind those two. And Eric Warman right on his bumper in the 4th position. Zachary Miller, kudos to him. He has lost that 1st position, but he's still riding very comfortably in 5th.
Jamie's going to try the high side. If he can stick it without touching the wall, he'll have it. Looks like he does. Good move by Jamie.
That is going to put Jamie Horn back in the lead of this race for the first time since we initially took the green flag. Here on lap 34, still have all 19 cars on the lead lap. Got Eric Anderson and Mike Leftwich in the most danger. Mike Leftwich about 24 seconds off the pace. Eric Anderson did get it caught back up to the pack there. He's racing alongside Bill Gentry there in the number 4 machine there, and that is for 17th and 18th.
Checking back in with Gary Clune, who's now up 10 spots in that P9 position, trying to make a run here on Mark Dumont. Going to look on the inside here. He should have this pass. And he passed his teammate in St. Cour to get around there too. So Gary Clune up 11 spots tonight, sitting at P8.
Run by Gary so far. That is fantastic. One thing we did forget to mention there in the beginning, who was your pick?
My pick initially for tonight was going to be Kevin Thompson.
Okay.
And then I also had a Chris Simon in that top 3. And I also had a Jamie Horn in that top 3. But now that I'm saying it now, it looks like I'm cheating a little bit. But I'm sticking with it.
Hey, take them where you can get them. If you get the inside look at the odds, you should take it.
Let's hear.
I'm torn here because I was either going to go with Zachary Miller or Adam Thompson. And again, it's a little bit of insider trading at this point because we know now that Zachary Miller has a rocket ship. Seems like maybe he burnt it up a little bit on this first green flag run, but seems like the odds are probably good that he's going to learn from that. And then Adam Thompson just been very, very patient here, sitting very consistent there in that kind of 3rd to 5th position. I'm going to go Adam Thompson 1, Zachary Miller 2, Eric Warman 3. And that's going to be my picks tonight.
I love it. Fantastic picks. Right now, everybody's kind of getting spaced out. Only action we really have on the track is Nicholas Atwood and Adam Gardner fight for this 13th position.
Yeah, we were talking in the beginning of the race how Charlotte can kind of be one of two things. It can either be pretty much exactly like this. You're 40 laps in. We haven't had really any trouble other than those little slide in action that we saw out of Mike Leftwich and Eric Anderson. Or it can be an absolute caution fest. Like I said, I believe the second most cautions I've ever seen during an iRacing race was at Charlotte. And I think the first was at Martinsville. So kind of a crazy difference to be comparing those two, but I've seen it happen. But these guys are keeping it straight and keeping it fast. And Jamie Horn out to almost a half a second lead on Kevin Thompson now. And those two are just kind of running away with things. Eric Warman and Adam Thompson now over 6 seconds back. And it looks like Adam Thompson might be losing a little bit of speed because now Zachary Miller is kind of knocking on that rear bumper of Adam Thompson.
Pulling up the track temps right here for a second. Not a lot of wind tonight, about 6 miles an hour, but track temp is at 94, 95 degrees now, climbing up. Not too hot about this time of the year, so it shouldn't affect the cars too much, but if it keeps climbing, these cars are going to loosen up a little bit, eat up some more tire.
I'm actually kind of shocked that it hasn't warmed up more than that. I believe we started the race at 94, and 40 laps into green flag racing, we're only up to 95. That's a little bit surprising to me, actually.
Looks like Miller does make that pass on Thompson. Thompson gives him just a little bit of bumps. He gets around.
Oh, Thompson touches the wall right there, though. And Thompson needs to watch out. He's got Justin McMahon, who looks like he's still got a little bit of something in the tank as well. He's closing the gap. Jamie Horn now officially has put Mike Leftwich 1 lap down, making Mike our only car on the track that is currently a lap down. Next car that would be closest would be Bill Gentry in that number 4 machine, and he's still about 18 seconds off the pace, so he's still probably a good, probably close to 10 seconds away from ending up in any trouble. You do have to think, especially as we approach lap 50 here, that we're going to start seeing some green flag pit stops.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when that's going to happen. I'm not too sure how much gas these cars can hold. It's like Warman's trying to make a move here on Miller. Miller just actually made a move on Warman. Miller's pushing his way back to the front.
I don't know if he was able to kind of sit back there and cool off those tires. I thought he might have toasted them when he slid all the way back to 5th there, but he looks like he's got something in the tank and he's working his way back forward. Got a long way to go to get caught back up to Kevin Thompson. Almost 8.5 seconds to get caught up there.
Yeah, we talked about Chris Simon being down a little bit earlier, and he's back up to 7th place, only a position down from where he started. He's looking to move his way up. I'm looking at the deltas, and it looks like he's gaining right now.
We are definitely very spread out here. Looking at gaps of about 20 seconds between the leader and the last car on the lead lap. And just a huge variation in speed, too, from the guys that are running up front. Jamie Horn out in front, and then Kevin Thompson still right on his tail, about 0.3 of a second back. And then, I mean, to go back even further, I mean, Zachary Miller's 9.4 seconds off right now. Justin McMahon, 10.2. Eric Warman, 10.5. And then that's where you're going to start seeing some of the close racing. So we have the 21 of Christopher Simon and Adam Thompson in that 71 machine right there on the bumper of Eric Warman.
Yeah, I just watched Justin McMahon get around Eric Warman and move up into that 4th place position. Simon and Clune, who've been turning it on here lately, trying to move up around Adam Thompson as well.
Something else to keep an eye on as well, Eric Anderson, who slid all the way to the bottom of the pack after getting in that little incident with Mike Leftwich, has picked up about 4 spots. He's back up in 15th position. Kind of on his own right now, trying to run down a number 2 machine to Tony Martin up there in 14th, but he is definitely still able to move his way forward through the pack. And that is officially going to take us 1/4 of the way through this race. Lap 50 is in the books. Jamie Horn still going to be your race leader here with Kevin Thompson in 2nd place, Zachary Miller in 3rd. Justin McMahon just moved up into 4th there. Chris Simon now going to be in 5th position in that Shoney's Racing Team machine.
And that is going to make Jamie Horn your stage 1 winner. That's going to end stage 1. Stage 2 will be ending at lap 100. Just as I say that,
Hillside. Go ahead.
Kevin Thompson trying to move around right now. We're not going to be able to do it in this turn.
Bill Gentry is our first car to bring it down pit road here under these green flag stops. I can see Mark Dumont also announcing that he's going to be bringing it down, currently running over there in 12th position. It's like Adam Thompson got a little bit loose right there. Him and Gary Clune had moved past Eric Warman. Now see Gary Clune start to pull away there a little bit, and he's right back there on the front end of Eric Warman. That's in 8th position.
Like Jamie Horn is bringing it down pit road as well. I mean, look at how big of a lead they have.
We've seen that strategy kind of play out in a couple different races where if you have that 10-12 second lead on the rest of the pack, that completely changes everyone else's strategy, because you might think, oh, I can stay out and get a couple more laps on them, but that 10 seconds makes a huge amount of difference in how you're able to get back and catch up to the rest of the pack. That takes you from being a lap down to being 15 seconds back, and that completely changes the course of how this thing rolls.
Yep, Adam Thompson now bringing it down pit road.
Kevin Thompson still out there, Justin McMahon still out there, as well as Zachary Miller.
Chris Simon coming down, Kevin Brown also coming down. It's a good run.
It was well done. Looking like Kevin Thompson's still out there letting it eat. Justin McMahon looks like he is slowing it down to bring it in, as is Zachary Miller. Kevin Thompson's still staying out there. Gary Clune now going to be your driver in 2nd place. He looks like he might be woeing it down to bring it in. Eric Warman's still out on the track as well. Yellow flag is out.
Chris Simon. I'm trying to find him on the track.
And that is going to make things really interesting. we were about halfway through that green flag cycle. Jamie Horn did end up going a lap down. He's going to be your lucky dog. But now that is going to leave Adam Thompson, Christopher Simon, Kevin Brown, Tony Martin, all a lap down. While John tries to figure out where that caution was, we can go over to the comments. Thorn Hillside, one of the most interesting parts of Charlotte is the different strategies and the fun watch. I agree completely. I think this just made a really interesting new shape puzzle piece in this race.
We see Chris Simon trying to get off pit road here, hits that bump, gets started a little bit, locks it up. He kept going, but apparently, I guess iRacing thought that was a caution. So it doesn't look like Chris Simon's going to take any damage from that. Just going to send him to the back. He's fast enough, and he knows that he can get to the front.
I think especially because he was still down there on pit road, that might be what triggered it. If anyone started to come flying there off of pit road, they're just going to crash right into the butt end of him. But that is going to make things very, very interesting here as we're now going to see the rest of our leaders come down pit road. That's going to bring Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune, Eric Warman, Stephen Bonomo, Andrew St. Cyr already down on pit road. Adam Gardner, Eric Anderson, Nick Atwood are all going to be coming down pit road, which is going to kind of reset things for the rest of the field. Jamie Horn will probably shake out being your new race leader here. Zachary Miller probably going to end up second out of this, but the other thing that is going to be a little interesting is you're going to have quite a few cars here that are going to be a lap down.
Yeah, looks like Atwood and St. Cyr both were taking some repairs on some damage there, staying under pit road for a little bit longer.
Got 18 people out here watching the action at Charlotte here in the Shoney's 300. Again, while we are getting everybody gridded up, just wanted to give another quick shout out to all of our sponsors. Again, thank you to Group6 for being the series sponsor for us here in the Doghouse Racing League. Thank you to Shoney's for putting on the awesome race here at Charlotte. I think all of these guys, after dealing with 300 miles here at Charlotte, they could probably all use a good Shoney's buffet. I know I could. And again, special shout out to Butt Kicker as well for being the best in racing haptics. And thank you to everybody that's out there, whether you're in chat, whether you're just sitting there watching, whatever the case may be. I think we got 20 people out there right now. Thank you very much for joining us. We're very happy to be up here in the booth broadcasting this thing to you. Be sure you leave a like if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe to the Doghouse Racing TV channel so you don't miss any of the action that we have out here, whether that be on Thursday nights or Sunday nights. And you can catch the rest of the Doghouse Racing action on Tuesday nights. On Intensity Broadcasting, we are going back to green. Kevin Thompson taking the green flag here with Eric Warman, Gary Clune, and Adam Gardner following right behind him.
Pull up the pit stop laps for everybody here to see. Everybody looks like they pitted on that lap. So everybody is on about the same strategy. Jamie Horn just a little bit less, but not too much. Hopefully it won't make too much of a difference. Tires able to cool down under caution.
Jamie Horn back there looking like he was Andrew St. Cyr. I think Jamie might have gotten a little bit loose right there. Michelle S. out in the comments saying, good luck, Christopher Simon, number 21. We love you. Christopher Simon currently out there on the track in the 13th position. Got the 28 machine right behind him of Daniel Wilkerson, trying to chase down Justin McMahon in front of him there. And then Diane Melendez saying Bonomo number 9 coming in hot. He definitely is. He is up there. Was running third right there. Believe he's going to deal with a little bit of action right here. It looks like the 56 of Adam Gardner and the 11 of Gary Clune are going to work their way around him right there. Still going to be sitting up there in the top 5 and in second place for our biggest mover of the night. Him and Gary Clune both up 15 spots. Or no, I apologize. My math was dumb there. Gary Clune up 15 spots and Steve Bonomo up 12 spots.
Yeah, we saw Steve Bonomo make a really good pass earlier to kind of make a block and also make a pass at the same time. It worked out really well for him. So definitely got some talent behind that wheel there and can get to the front. And also with Chris Simon, don't be fooled by his position now. He was up here near the front a second ago, had a little bit of trouble getting off pit road, which sent him to the back, but able to drive to the front. He's proven that tonight.
100%. I fully expect to see him back up there near the front. Only fitting having a Shoney's car near the front on the Shoney's 300. But currently we got a lot of Beast Mode Performance guys up there. Kevin Thompson up there running near the front, as Adam Gardner actually, for the first time tonight, takes the lead away. But then you got Gary Clune up there. And then you also have Nicholas Atwood running in 6th right now. He's currently fighting with Eric Anderson, who's worked his way all the way back from being involved in our first little incident tonight to now being back up racing for 5th position. Him and Eric Warman going back and forth right there. Oh, Mike Leftwich, Justin McMahon around near the back of the pack. Caution flag is out. I just heard Bill Gentry coming over the radio. I think he might have gotten into Mike a little bit, and I think when Mike was trying to get back up on the track, he ended up getting into Bill, and that caused some chaos.
Let's see if we can go back to that caution that just happened there. I'm showing that Jamie Horn also might have been involved in that.
Chris Simon, I think, just barely squeaked his way around. He might have had to kind of Hail Melon it up into the wall a little bit, but I think he was able to mostly avoid the damage.
Jamie Horn was involved in that. Yeah, Gentry up into the wall. Horn's going to hit the wall down low. Trying to see what happened in this situation. It's like Leftwich tries to go low to avoid it. And I don't think Bill Gentry knew he was down low. I'm trying to see where Justin McMahon fit into all this.
Right there. It's just an unfortunate circumstance right there.
Just gets clipped. Doesn't have a lot of damage from that, though.
Mike's coming up. Bill's going down, and away we go.
Let's ride along with Justin McMahon here from the cockpit cam to see what he was seeing. Good on everybody else to avoid that, though, there.
Definitely going to be a close call there for Chris Simon. I believe most of our drivers did end up coming down pit road there as well. Don't know if most people took tires there, though. But that is going to shuffle us up a little bit. Eric Anderson now going to be your race leader, up from 8th place. Eric Warman going to be in 2nd, Zachary Miller in 3rd, Steve Bonomo in 4th, and Adam Gardner was going to be in 5th, but looking like he's going to bring it down pit road right now as well. Currently have Bill Gentry on pit road getting repairs. Same for Jamie Horn. Mike Leftwich is back out on the track. He is a lap down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Jamie too. Just on the inside, somebody gets the wall a little bit, comes down on you, nothing intentional. Also, nothing you can really do about it.
No, not a thing. And that's just some of the bad luck that can end up happening here at Charlotte. I feel like Jamie qualifying second, led some laps here tonight. Definitely had a very, very fast car, and especially with the way the left side kind of tore off of that thing. I mean, I'm probably expected a good 8 to 9 minutes of damage on that thing.
Yes, he is still sitting there on pit road. Looks like a similar incident to what I've been involved in here at the sit track. Same kind of thing. It's part of Charlotte. It happens. Gotta take it on the chin, roll with it, and keep going.
Pace car is off, and we're about to get back rolling green here. Eric Anderson takes the green flag and leads us on to lap number 68 of 200 here at Charlotte. Great jump for him. Zachary Miller going to be right behind with Eric Warman in third. They both immediately go to the high side, and then Zach goes right to the inside of Eric Anderson.
Daniel Wilkerson trying to make a push.
Follow. That's the other thing there. Daniel Wilkerson stuck his way up into the 5th position here. And he looks like he's got something for him. As we say that, though, Andrew St. Cyr drops to the low side there, and he is letting it rip right there. He got a great run on entry there. He's not only going to get around Daniel Wilkerson, he's probably going to be able to put the moves on Stephen Bonomo here.
Yeah, he's got a rocket ship right now too, man. He's up 11 spots, sitting in P4, trying to get around Zach Miller. We know Zach Miller is pretty fast, and it seems like he's got it figured out pretty well how much these tires can take. So Zach Miller is a name to watch out for tonight.
Oh, big pop of the wall by Zach Miller and by Adam Thompson. Adam Thompson was also on a pretty good run there, trying to chase down Andrew St. Cyr to get up there into the 4th position. St. Cyr still trying to get around the 31 of Eric Warman.
Eric Anderson's trying to build out his lead here. He's followed by Zach Miller. Got a nice little comfortable gap here. He can kind of set the pace if he would like to. I don't think Zach Miller's going to allow that to happen for too much longer and try to catch up, but that's the good thing about being the leader. You can go about as fast as you want or as slow as you want. You're in the lead for now. Just got to figure out how to hold it.
We currently have 16 cars on the lead lap. Your last car on the lead lap going to be the 11 machine of Gary Clune. He is back there in a big pack. About 12th to 16th is just a jumble right now. Everyone trying to figure out their line. Mike Leftwich is your first car on the track that is a lap down. Jamie Horn going to be 6 laps down, still getting some damage repaired. Bill Gentry 7 laps down, also still getting some repairs.
Justin Mann's going to try to look to this inside here, I think. The inside of Mark Dumont, who's sitting in 10th place, trying to take that 10th place spot away. You got to get a good push out here, though. Adam Gardner's going to take over Stephen Bonomo for that 12th place spot. And if I'm Chris Simon or Gary Clune, I'm probably looking out the window at each other, and we got to work together. We both drove to the front easily at the end of that last stint. So you save it, I'll save it. We'll drive together, push our way through.
100%. We are seeing a big shuffle here. Gary Clune looks like he got a little bit loose right there. That's in the 15th position. We saw Gary up there near the front just a few laps ago. Kevin Thompson was your pole winner. Led probably the most laps here tonight so far between him and Zachary Miller. He's back there in 14th right now, going back and forth with Stephen Bonomo.
Yeah, Tony Martin's trying to get around right now. and Andrew St. Cyr making the moves on Eric Anderson. I think we missed him
he
passing Miller.
He turned the gas on and is trying to work his way around Eric Anderson right now. Andrew's been letting that low side rip here all night long. Eric been going a little bit higher. Oh, Eric touched the wall right there. That is going to give the lead for the first time tonight to Andrew St. Cyr. It looks like Zachary Miller might be working his way toward the front in that 90 machine as well. He is now in third. Eric Warman just kind of biding his time back there in fourth. And then back there in fifth, sixth, and seventh, you have Adam Thompson, Daniel Wilkerson, and Tony Martin. Tony looks like he's trying to figure out a way to get around the 28 machine of Daniel Wilkerson.
Yeah, Tony's up 5 spots already for the night. I just saw him earlier making some runs around some other people, trying to hold off McMahon from getting that line. It's a good move by Tony Martin.
Oh, and there's a big wreck behind him there. That's going to be Justin McMahon. That's Kevin Brown.
It's like Bonomo gets through. Chris Simon almost brings it to a stop. Mark Dumont's going to take some damage from that. Kevin Brown.
It looked like Justin was maybe trying to take it 3 wide. I think he thought he had a run there. Definitely a very fast car. But he had to back off when he realized he didn't have that lane Tony Martin was in. And I think when he was trying to maybe get back in line, he just got caught up. Go back and take a look at it.
See if we can get
Saw
kind
Ford
of a higher
Hillside
view.
there right before that, saying Tony Martin was on the move. Definitely was.
I'm going to back that up just a little bit there. It's like Dumont's coming in pretty hot there in that corner. Gets into the side of Kevin Brown, spins him up into McMahon. Yeah, Atwood's going to get collected inside of that as well.
It looks like Justin was trying to get his way back into the lane that he wanted to be. And then, like you said, you had Mark Dumont absolutely sending it into that corner.
Yeah.
And then when he collected Kevin Brown and then Justin was trying to get back down into his lane, everyone just ran out of room.
Yeah, Bonomo did get collected in that just a little bit there. You see him sliding around trying to miss it. Does a good job. Kind of blinks out for a second on my side and gets popped by McMahon as he comes around. Do kind of want to go back to this move by Tony Martin here. Coming off of turn 2. It's a good move by Martin. He knows that if he leaves too much space in the middle here, that McMahon is going to try to push the issue and go 3 wide. He notices it. Tries to drive him back up the track just a little bit to close that off. Martin doesn't want to enter any lower than he is now. Does it pretty well and is able to find a line that he, not probably his primary choice, but not his tertiary choice as well. It's a good move by Martin.
That's good racing. You're not required to give up your lane, and he was where he wanted to be. And Justin McMahon obviously had a very, very fast car right there. Was trying to push the issue, and Tony closed it right down. And when Justin was trying to get back in line, that's just what ended what kind of shuffled everything out there.
Yeah, looking here at Bonomo's right front tires, kind of facing inward. So he's trying to stay on the lead lap. I imagine he'll bring it back in this time by.
We do have. Looks like the rest of everybody.
Nope.
For the most part, coming down pit road, or? Just heard Adam Thompson going back and forth over the radio with Jamie Horn. I think Adam might have been having some microphone issues. And then Jamie comes over the radio, said, "Anybody got a motor I can borrow?" And Adam said, "Man, when I saw that, I thought we needed to call you an ambulance. I'm pretty sure that's the second time I've seen you get torpedoed in the last 3 weeks." And Jamie said, "Yep, it hurt."
Hurt physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
All of the above. It just hurt.
It's shaping
We
up
are
to be a
stacked
pretty good
back
race,
up
though.
here. Definitely been a fun one so far. Green flag racing is back underway here on lap 81 now at the Shoney's 300. Andrew St. Cyr takes the green flag in the first position. Kevin Thompson, Adam Gardner, Gary Clune, and Tony Martin make up your top 5. Already see Zachary Miller getting back in the throttle, immediately getting around the 11 machine of Gary Clune. He's going to put him up in the 5th position. Good Lord, Zachary Miller turned it on. He is flying through. It's like Eric Anderson might have a similar idea.
Tony Martin's still there, just looking along, sitting in P5. He's up 7 spots for the night. Biggest mover for now is going to go to Andrew St. Cyr, up 14 spots. And that is about as much as he will be able to move up.
Can't get any higher than first. It's looking like Zachary Miller might have something to say about it. He has flown through that restart pack. He is already on the bumper of Kevin Thompson, going to the high side to try to make his pass right here. Looking like he's going to get it done this time by. Like Tony Martin is wanting to follow right behind him.
I hear you, Tony. The classic blue 2. I think he's always had that car since I've raced with him.
Yep.
Same kind of thing for Eric Anderson, repping that 43 STP car there. Graybeard Motors.
That dark blue Miller Lite, that was Rusty Wallace back in the day, wasn't it?
It was. I had the diecast for it. Speaking of diecast and transitions here, let's give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Doghouse Racing TV, Trackside NASCAR Outlet. If you want to spend some money, Trackside. Because I'm telling you, that is a hobby you will get hooked on. I don't know what it is about it, man. You buy one, you got to get 2. Once you get 2, you got to get 3. I've definitely...
Then you get that even number back.
Yeah. Then you don't show your wife your billing statements, you know. But no, big shout out to Trackside. I've actually got 3 cars over the past few weeks sitting on my desk right now in front of me from those guys. And I mean, very quick turnaround, very reasonable price. They are a Lionel authorized dealer, supporting the league, also supporting our man out here, Kevin Brown. You can see him on the side of the car. If you're looking to pick up a hobby or already into the hobby, I highly suggest checking those guys out on their website.
Absolutely. We got a little bit of racing going on here. Zachary Miller now trying to get up there on the bumper of Andrew St. Cyr and race for the lead. And then they are racing back here in this 3rd, 4th, 5th pack here. Tony Martin trying to get the 3rd place position away from Kevin Thompson. And then Eric Warman sitting there right and ready for something to happen.
Yeah, man. Tony Martin's ripping that high side. Warman's trying to jump up.
We've seen a couple people have really good luck on the high side. I've definitely seen Zachary Miller letting the high side eat as well tonight. Don't know what that's doing tire-wise in terms of wear. 3 wide. Eric Warman right through the middle.
I hit the wrong button and went off it for a second. Eric Warman doesn't mind being the meat in the sandwich. Gets around. What a move.
Great move by him. Our winner here on Tuesday night here at Charlotte in the Gen 4s. And Zachary Miller, again, takes the lead here tonight on lap 90 of 200 here in the Shoney's 300. We'll have a stage coming up at lap 100. We will not have an automatic caution for that, but it will be for some bonus points. And Zachary Miller is trying to run those down.
Looks like Chris Simon's trying to look on the inside of Adam Gardner here. We're going to move up into that 10th place spot.
Gonna have another group here that almost took it 3 wide there. That was gonna be Adam Thompson, Tony Martin, and Eric Anderson. Almost went 3 wide there. Adam Thompson backed out of it at the last second, but then got a good run going into the straightaway there. He's now gonna be trying to take that position away from Tony Martin for 5th, and he is gonna get it that time by.
Yeah, it looks like Eric Anderson's going to follow right behind him. That's going to put Tony back down to 7th place.
Adam Thompson hadn't led a lap here tonight, but dang if he hadn't been right in about 5th the entire race. Wonder what he's got in the tank for the end of this thing.
It's like Gary Clune's trying to get around Tony Martin now. So he's going to try to make this pass on the inside. Daniel Wilkerson also looking there on the low side. Mark Dumont, I believe that's him coming out of the pits right now. Down 15 laps, trying to get some points.
Still trying to get some points out here is Mark Dumont. Jamie Horn still on pit road getting repairs, as is Bill Gentry. Justin McMahon has called it a night.
Man, there is a lot of points on the table tonight.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying you gain more points tonight than any other night, but as some of these higher guys that are higher up in the points won't be making as much, and you will be making a lot by finishing high. So it is very beneficial if you're sitting in some of these positions to get a really good run here.
Absolutely.
Eric Warman getting around 2nd place now.
It's looking towards the middle of the pack there. It looked like Daniel Wilkerson got a really great run on entry there. Was able to get around Chris Simon for the 8th position. He was knocking on the door of Gary Clune there for 7th just for a second.
And Tony Martin still falling back a little bit, down to 10th place now.
So there goes Daniel. We're trying to work his way around Gary Clune, and he is going to get that position. Moves him up to 7th, chasing down Eric Anderson, who is right there in the 6th place position. Eric Anderson and Adam Thompson going back and forth between 6th and 5th right there. Zachary Miller out to about 0.3 of a second of a lead on Eric Warman. Only a half a second behind is Andrew St. Cyr. Gonna be 2 laps left to go in the stage, this time by.
So every time I see Eric Anderson, I don't know why my brain automatically defaults to the down goes Anderson call from the White Sox and the Cleveland Guardians a few years back between Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson. So I looked it up to see what it was, and there is a whole page dedicated to this as if it was a UFC fight, which shows both fighters or both baseball players' fighting stance, their records, apparently, pre-fight records, height, weight, and style.
Fantastic. And I was going to say, it's pretty interesting that that's the thing that comes to your mind with Eric Anderson. He's so nice.
I think it's the name Anderson.
He is so nice. Going over here though, lap 99, 100 as we cross the stripe. Looks like Zachary Miller was still in the lead as we cross lap 100.
I think he's got to hold it till 101.
I believe he does too, and Eric Warman was able to take it away there. Now Andrew St. Cyr sitting there knocking on the door trying to get around. See if Andrew has anything in the tank for Eric.
Oh, that's Kevin Thompson.
Big slide, and he's still trying to catch that thing. Touches the grass again.
Adam Thompson able to get around him with that. Daniel Wilkerson looking to the high side of Kevin Thompson now, trying to push around.
Eric Warman going to be the one to take that stage, though. Was able to work his way around Zachary Miller at the last second. Adam Thompson now going to be up there in the 4th position. Daniel Wilkerson moves his way up to 5th. Kevin Thompson lost a lot of time right there. He got a little bit of loose there on the exit of turn 4. We are halfway through the race here in the Shoney's 300 here at Charlotte. Still got 19 people out there in the stream. Thank you all again for joining with us for the long haul tonight. We appreciate it, and the drivers appreciate it. Feel free to jump in the comments and give them a little mid-race boost here. Your top 5 as we come into lap 104 is going to be Eric Warman, Andrew St. Cyr, Zachary Miller, Adam Thompson, and Daniel Wilkerson.
St. Cyr is making a run here, trying to get to the bumper of Eric Warman.
He's looking like he might try to get it this next time by. Adam Thompson looks like he's going to get the pass made on Zachary Miller for 3rd place. He's going to get that done. And now Daniel Wilkerson knocking on the door, trying to work his way into the 4th spot.
Just looking up some stats here from the old Sim Race Hub. Kind of keeps all the stats books for us. You want to take a stab at who has the highest average start position?
Tonight?
Over the course of this season, who has the highest average starting position?
Highest average starting position, Andrew St. Cyr.
It is. It is Andrew St. Cyr. Andrew St. Cyr also has the most poles in the league for this season as well, as he just takes 1st place away from Eric Warman.
Andrew came to play tonight. He is been right there knocking on the door all night long. Led a couple laps here, and looking like he's trying to get a little bit more. Another guy talked about it about, I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes ago. One to watch out for. Adam Thompson up there in 3rd place.
He's pushing, man.
And he is pushing now, which I think, if I'm really being honest, this is the first time I've really seen him push tonight. He's just been very, very consistent. Got Jamie Horn out there in the comments. While he's sitting on pit road, I suppose. Say he thinks that St. Cyr gets his 1st win of the season tonight. Jamie, I hope they got you some AC down there. Or like a sandwich or something. Maybe you can hit up Tony Martin's primary sponsor, see if you can get you something a little sudsy in there.
Still going through this stat sheet here of the drivers that have raced in all 12 races so far this season. Would you like to take a guess who has the highest? Well, let's just say out of 10 races being the qualifier, who has the highest average finish?
Highest average finish of everyone who has raced all 12 races.
Just 10 races or more. We're at 12.
Oh, 10 races or more?
Yep.
Jamie Horn.
Are you looking at this?
Nope.
That is incredible.
So good. I don't even know what Sim Race Hub is.
Man, it is the stat sheet of stat sheets for all of your stuff that you need for your iRacing leagues. And this is not a sponsor plug, but it's just a good program. Looks like
But
second
if they want
place.
to be a sponsor plug.
Yeah, I doubt it. They got their hands full up there, but second behind that is going to be Seth Fitzpatrick with 10 starts. His average finish is going to be 8.6, and then third is Andrew St. Cyr, 11.3.
Love it. Andrew St. Cyr is my second guess. We are starting to see a stack up here at the front. Eric Warman now right back to the bumper of Andrew St. Cyr and Adam Thompson. Really starting to push here. He's going to be right up there next to him. Jamie Horn says, I need a sandwich. Crew chief told me to get out the car. We done for the night. Yeah, unless anyone in the comments is feeling generous and wants to Uber Eats Jamie a new motor.
Chris Simon makes that pass right there around Daniel Wilkerson. Trying to chase down Kevin Thompson. I thought he just made that pass around him. Looks like Daniel's trying to get it back. St. Cyr in the lead right now. Adam Thompson around Warman trying to make a pass on the outside.
Yeah, he was right there to the bumper of St. Cyr. Goes to the high side. He's going to race him out for it. A lot of speed up there on that high side, it seems like, tonight. He gets a great run as they come out. And Adam Thompson, for the first time tonight, is going to take the lead of the Shoney 300.
These guys' tires have to be barking right now.
Talk pit road to me. When did everybody come down last?
Looking at lap 56. From start to pit road time for the first stint was 56 laps.
When did they, so lap 56 was the last time everyone was down, or?
That is when pretty much everybody came down. Which was right around, people were taking green flag stops, so it was right around that caution time as well.
Gotcha. I thought we did have a couple guys come down after that, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, we did. Looks like a couple of guys. Thompson, lap 78. Eric Warman, lap 78. Simon, Wilkerson, Miller, Anderson on 78 as well. I'm not sure if they took tires there or not, but
either way, the point, whether it's 56 or 76, the point still stands. The tires are barking. The dogs are barking.
let's see. I'm looking at the last time for Adam Thompson. His last laps hit about 30.99. His best lap tonight is 29.82. So he's about a second off pace right now, which isn't too bad for the amount of laps that they've ran.
It really isn't. I was actually going to say that seems like pretty good lap times, but we were talking about it earlier. Adam been very, very consistent tonight. Just kind of chilling. Been somewhere between about 4th and 7th all night long. I believe in the last like 10, 15 laps is the first time tonight I've really seen him start pushing. And now he finds himself in the lead. But between him, Warman, Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, those guys have all been incredibly fast tonight. And then you've still got guys who are moving their way up. Christopher Simon now up in 5th. He's going to be knocking on the door of Kevin Thompson right there for the 4th position. Daniel Wilkerson worked his way up from 18th in 6th now.
Yeah, and it looks like Gary Clune is putting on the motors here too, as he's gained almost a second over the past 6 laps on top of Eric Anderson.
Saying Zachary Miller led a lot of laps here tonight as well. He's still sitting in a competitive position in 7th. Good to see Mike Leftwich back up in the running as well. Currently running 11th. He was involved in one of those cautions we saw earlier. He's back on the lead lap and running in 11th. Tony Martin in 12th, currently trying to run him down. We are currently seeing a couple cars go a lap down. That is going to be the 91 machine of Nicholas Atwood, who's currently running in 14th. And the 13 machine of Stephen Bonomo are going to go a lap down right here.
Trying to pull up Chris Simon's deltas on between him and St. Cour, and I mean it's pretty steady. Simon is gaining just a little bit over the past 6 on average, but it has not been a lot. I mean, we're talking like hundreds of seconds.
Wow.
So it's just been not a lot of movement for him to catch up, sitting in that 4th spot. Pretty comfortable right now. I believe he's going to be about 1.44 behind the leader.
I think the green flag, next run of green flag stops, I think are going to tell us a lot. And most of these guys are still going to need to pit twice before the end of this race. But we have seen so much happen here tonight because of the pit stops and how it can kind of throw things off. We saw a caution come out earlier on during one of the green flag pit stop runs. And then we saw Chris Simon actually cause the first caution of the night when he spun out trying to get off of pit road. But he has worked his way back up and is now running there in the 4th position, trying to see if he can run down Andrew St. Cour. But it kind of looks like those guys in the top 3 have turned the jets back on again.
And speaking of jet, Zach Miller's going to get around Daniel Wilkerson here. Daniel's still up 11 spots for the night. Gary Clune also up 11 spots for the night as well. Gary's currently sitting in P8 right now.
Great run out of both of those guys. We've talked about it before, but I think Gary Clune is one of those guys that you can see kind of very consistently every week just getting better and continuing to do so. Already very good, but just continues to get better each and every week. I know he puts the time and practice in. It's good to see him out there having some success up there in 8th. And then Daniel Wilkerson, our main admin for the Doghouse Racing League, also a lot of times has so many other things going on. Sometimes he's trying to throw cautions. He's trying to get black flags fixed, whatever the case may be. And you know that absolutely has to affect how he can race. So good to see him up there in 7th. He does such a good job of running the league and making sure that things stay smooth and drama-free, and also just a really nice guy.
And it looks like Mike Leftwich is going to bringing it down pit road right now. Trying to see who else I got down there on pit road. Mark Dumont still down there. Jamie Horn enjoying his sandwich down there on pit road. Bill Gentry as well.
Andrew St. Cour up there working his way onto the inside. Eric Warman trying to get the 2nd place position away.
Looks like Warman just kind of gave it to him there. Probably realizing that his car is a little faster and maybe Warman's tires are a little burnt. And knowing that he's probably about to pit soon, so.
I was going to say, I feel like you're going to start seeing a lot of these guys start to try to figure out where their pit road line's going to be.
Simon has kind of snuck back up on this pack, though. He has decreased that gap between him and Eric Warman to 0.8 seconds. Still about 1.28 behind the leader. But, I mean, he was about 1.6 earlier behind the leader, so he is tracking in the right direction.
He is. Something happened. I mean, I assume he's probably going to be bringing it down pit road here sometime soon, but something happened to Tony Martin. He is way off the pace now.
Not that I know of. He did just blink out on me there for a second, though. I saw Adam Gardner at the front earlier, currently sitting in 10th place. Got to get him a good pit stop and move his way up into that top 5, top 3 first place position.
St. Core right back up there to the bumper of Adam Thompson, trying to see if he can work his way around here.
Yeah, I don't know how Daniel does it with the admin responsibilities, or even if the load is spread and there's multiple admins racing and clearing black flags at the same time. We were on stream the other night, and I just tried to look right at my other monitor for a second and was all up in the wall. So that shows my multitasking ability. And they're out here clicking black flags and trying to figure out who's saying what. So big shout out to them. A lot of respect for that. It's the job that I would not do.
So we have seen Mike Leftwich already go down pit road. He is currently a lap down in the 14th position. Your first car lap down currently is going to be Stephen Bonomo, who is currently running in 12th. You also a lap down are going to have Nicholas Atwood in 13th. Again, Mike Leftwich in 14th. Kevin Brown is 2 laps down in 15th. And then the rest of that pack is going to be either off the track or out of the race for the night. That is Mark Dumont, Justin McMahon, Jamie Horn, and Bill Gentry. Last car on the lead lap is going to be Tony Martin. I'm not sure if something happened or if what exactly went down, but he was still kind of up there in contention and is now in 11th place, the last car on the lead lap, and is falling more off the pace as the laps go by.
I think Core trying to make a move on Adam Thompson here. And it looks like he might clear him. Oh, Adam Thompson has something to say about it. Gets a good run. He's got to make it stick.
He did make it stick.
Yeah, he did it once. See if he can do it twice and take that spot right back from him. Thompson with a great run there.
I mean, that is just really good work by Adam Thompson, especially on older tires. Having to kind of run off of the line that he's been wanting to most of the night. Raced the crap out of Andrew St. Core there. Really good job.
Oh, St. Core.
Andrew St. Core breaks it down pit road, but he had to lock it up. I wonder if he was able to get it slowed down.
It's like Gary Clune also coming down pit lane, following his teammate St. Core there. Chris Simon's now back about 1.7 behind the leader, so falling back just a little bit from where he was earlier.
Thompson and Warman still out there racing on the track. Christopher Simon still out there. Kevin Thompson brings it down pit road. Zachary Miller stays out to take the 4th position. Daniel Wilkerson also still out on the track with Eric Anderson.
Like Thompson, Warman, Simon, and Miller last pitted, and Wilkerson and Anderson as well, and Martin, all last pit on lap 78.
Those tires have got to be barking. And you can see the difference, though. Andrew St. Core now back out on the track, and he's just letting it eat. Eric Anderson bringing it down pit road.
So it looks like these guys are pushing about 60 laps here.
And I did just see the message come across the racing screen. Adam Gardner saying he's going to be bringing it in this time by. Adam Thompson and Eric Warman still out on the track, as well as Christopher Simon, Zachary Miller, Daniel Wilkerson. Eric Anderson just now getting it back out there. Be very interesting to see how this strategy ends up playing out here on lap 137 of 200.
Taking a look down pit lane. See if you've got anybody coming down. Don't look like it right now, though.
It's like Tony Martin, who had worked his way back up to 6th with all of the green flag pit stops we just saw, is bringing it down this time by Daniel Wilkerson bringing it in. Zachary Miller still out there on the track. We just saw Andrew St. Gore go zooming around him, trying to get his lap back the old-fashioned way.
Uh-oh. It's like Wilkerson missed that pit stall just a little bit.
Chris Simon bringing it down.
Almost had a collision there on pit road between Simon and Wilkerson. Simon gets a really good stop there, though. Now here comes Zach Miller, Eric Warman down pit road. Simon pushing it out here. Probably going to be a little more cautious over this bump.
I believe that is going to make Adam Thompson, your race leader, the last one to bring it down.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else. Yeah, I think everybody else has brought it down now, except for Thompson, who last pitted, again, on lap 78.
I'm sure there's a strategy. I don't know what it is.
He is at 65 laps right now on these tires.
Those things have got to be just in shambles.
Hey, he's going to keep
But
it out.
When you also take into account that he's got the entire field a lap down. Not for much longer, though, because Andrew St. Gore is there, and he is coming in hot.
Yeah, I'm looking at these stints here. It looks like St. Gore, Thompson both had it out for 69 laps. Oh, just gets into each other there.
Collision!
I think maybe Adam Thompson was trying to get down pit road there.
And there is a reason that I have the driver radio and no one on the broadcast can hear it. Andrew St. Gore not thrilled with Adam Thompson there, and Adam Thompson not thrilled with Andrew St. Gore there.
Did Adam Thompson say he was coming down pit road prior to?
He did not say he was coming down pit road. Adam Thompson thought that Andrew St. Gore got too close to him and should not have been trying to go down that low line. And Andrew St. Gore thought otherwise. Is the long and short of what I heard there.
Looks like St. Gore is going to take over the lead position now. As Thompson gets it off pit road, he's going to have some work to do to catch back up to St. Gore.
He is definitely going to have some work to do.
He's got to be careful here on these bumps coming out of pit road. There's a few right before the cone. As you can see his car kind of wobble there as he gets across it.
Yeah, those fresh tires, once you get them warmed up, it's going to be a peach out there. But You got to get them warmed up first. Otherwise, that is when you get your absolute loosest out here.
Currently got Kevin Thompson sitting in second place behind your leader, St. Cour. Chris Simon still in third place right now. Eric Anderson behind him, trying to catch up. Warman sitting in P5. Clune right on the heels of Eric Warman in 6. Adam Thompson just bringing off pit road. Led a ton of laps right now. He's in P7. Zach Rocketman Miller out here in 8th. Adam Gardner 9th and Mike Leftwich in 10th. Let's see. Daniel Wilkerson's on the lead lap in 11th. Tony Martin is a lap down.
Definitely going to be very, very interesting to see how this kind of all plays out, because I mean, Andrew St. Cour obviously has an absolute rocket ship. I mean, he has just been blazing around the track. He's got a 6.5-second lead on Kevin Thompson. Obviously also very, very fast tonight. And Chris Simon up there in third, been running very, very consistent and strong all night long. Same thing for Eric Anderson. But Adam Thompson, with hitting so noticeably further out than the rest of the guys, do you think that could make a difference at the end, or what do you think the strategy might be there to hitting a good somewhere between 7 and 12 laps after everybody else?
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some fall off. It looks like he pitted maybe 10 to 15-ish laps past that, behind St. Cour at least. St. Cour will have some fall off. The question is if Thompson allowed himself enough time to get back around. He does have to make up 12.5 seconds, and the problem is you don't want to go too fast, because then you burn him up way too early.
Could Thompson be trying to not pit again?
That could be a strategy there, but I also don't think that St. Cour will have to pit again either.
Have to, yes. But with those 10 laps at the end of 49 laps at this point, do you think those 10 laps could make enough of a difference?
Oh yeah, it could. But Thompson's going to have to shrink this lead down, this gap down, I should say. Pretty significant for it to actually matter, because even if he does get a little faster for 10 laps, you know, we're only looking at maybe half a second faster a lap, maybe a quarter of a second faster a lap. So you got to allow yourself enough time to be able to catch back up and also not burn your stuff off at the same time.
I was going to say, so you think if it comes down to that in like the last 10 laps, you think he could probably make up 4 to 5 seconds?
Yeah, I also think that he may have pitted maybe just a lap too late, and I think not by his doing. I think the little scuffle between him and St. Cour kind of messed up his strategy there just a little bit. It probably would have saved him some seconds if he were able to get around and in pit road the lap before, whenever that scuffle happened. And also, yeah, I think he went off track as soon as that happened too, so that's definitely going to hurt some time. Just Doghouse is so competitive, and I say it all the time, even on other streams and stuff about this league, is a lot of these races are kind of won off pit road and your pit strategy. Because, I mean, everybody's fast, everybody's good, but you're going to have to really win off of details in this league. It's stuff like not going off track, not missing your pit stall, not getting called on little mistakes, sliding too past your pit stall, spinning it coming out too much. Very much detail-oriented league that everybody's so good and the competition level is so high, you have to win off the details.
100%. Andrew St. Cour has his lead. Looks like it's closing in just a little bit, and I can understand that if Andrew St. Cour is assumably trying to save a little bit of tire for the end of this race. But that lead is now down to 3.9 seconds over the number 6 machine of Kevin Thompson, his Beast Mode Performance teammate. Third place is going to be 7.1 seconds back. That is going to go to Eric Warman, who just worked his way around Christopher Simon, who's going to be your highest running Shoney's Racing Team member right now in 4th. Gary Clune still running a very, very respectable 5th after working his way up from 19th. He's going to be about 8.8 seconds back. And then you have Adam Thompson, who is back there in 6th and already worked his way around Eric Anderson. Don't look now, but is Adam Thompson kind of giving it a run here?
He is. He has pulled it back in about 3 seconds over the past 7 laps. But again, don't want to go too quick. Because even though the guy in front of you is 10 laps older tires, I mean, you can burn all tires just as quick.
I think if you're Adam Thompson right now, this is a math game. Like exactly like you said. I think you need to get it woed back to within. I mean, we still have a lot of racing to do. We still have 42 laps to go. I think with about 20 to go, if you're about 5 seconds back and you've kind of been chilling for a second, I think he's got a great shot at it. But I just don't know if he's putting the hammer down like he is. I'd love to know what the deltas are between St. Cyr and Thompson right now. If he's putting the hammer down like he seems to be right now, I don't know that you're going to be able to hold it off at the end.
It's going to be Gary Klune's deltas between those two. Yeah, I mean, you can see between, for everybody watching at home, I don't think Hunter can see this one on our screen here. Thompson's gained about 3 seconds over the past 6 laps here. And if we stretch it back to the last 10 laps, I mean, you can see that's still increasing.
So it's going up. He is increasing his delta currently.
But he's gaining quickly.
He's gaining quickly.
Got it down to about 7 seconds right now. As you can see on our graph here, so those bars are starting to get a little bit smaller and smaller as time goes on.
So if you're somebody like, and be this Adam Thompson or one of these other guys who's kind of in the run, and I know Kevin Thompson's he's about 3 seconds back, so he's probably good where he is right now. Eric Warman, Christopher Simon about 5 seconds back. You're comfortable. You're on the same pit time as Andrew St. Cyr up there in first. But if you're Adam Thompson right here, you're now 6 seconds back with 38 to go. Is this where you'd kind of woe it back a little bit for maybe 10 laps? Let the tires cool back off and then get back on it? Or
look, you're asking me a lot of questions about winning races. That is something I don't have a lot of experience with. You think I know how to win a race? I wish we could pull up Andrew St. Cyr to ask him what his strategy is right now, but no, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of experience up there at the front. My thought process would be, if this was me as Andrew St. Cyr, would be to kind of ease back a little bit, maintain a certain gap, have a number in my head. I want to say 3 seconds in front of Thompson or 2 seconds in front of Thompson, you know, or even looking at my deltas and my graphs on my right side to see what my lap times are and try to keep that a more straight line instead of a increasing line, as if my lap times are going up. A lot of analytics come into play here. It's more than just coming in here and turning left. And if I'm Adam Thompson, like you said, like, it's a good idea to get a little bit closer, bring it in just a little bit, and kind of pace for a second. See how far you can back off that throttle. Maybe push it 80%. Am I still gaining? Am I maintaining? Or am I losing here? Kind of just judge it each lap. But time is running out, so he's got to make a decision soon.
100%. And I love these style of races where you have this kind of math game at the very end of how hard can I push it and still get up there kind of thing. We've seen that several times here this season. I believe both times with Seth Fitzpatrick, where one time he was leading the race and had a huge lead, and he got run down by fresher tires. I believe that was Shane Parrish that chased him down. And then he was on the opposite end of that. I believe that was at Homestead, where Shane Parrish had a huge lead, and Seth had the fresher tires. And both times, I believe, the first time when Seth was in the lead, he mistimed his math by about a half a lap. And when he was trying to chase down Shane Parrish, he probably needed 2 or 3 more laps.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the second race. You're right about those. You just had the tracks backwards because Homestead, Fitzpatrick was in the lead, and Parrish was able to run him down. I think it was 19-second differential with about 20-ish to go, maybe, and Shane Parrish just put the burners on. And the other one, I cannot remember what track it is, but I remember talking to the podium guys afterwards about trying to catch Shane Parrish. Unfortunately, he is not with us tonight, but that is tough competition here in the league. See Mike Leftwich coming off pit road here, merging back into the track, trying to blend up. Going to go back through some of our drivers real quick as we got about 33 to go. Daniel Wilkerson sitting in P10, up 8 spots for tonight. Adam Gardner sitting in 9th place. He is down 2 spots for tonight. Oh, Eric Anderson sitting in 8th in that 43 machine right there in that STP looking Graybeard Motorsports car. Zach Miller, I'm kind of waiting to see if he turns the boosters on here in a second. We know he's got it. He's got that secret red button inside the car that gives him that boost. See if he'll start to catch up here soon. Gary Clune, guy to watch out for. He's up 13 spots for the night. One more spot would tie him with our biggest mover in Andrew St. Cour. Oh, there's smoke somewhere. So I don't know what happened there with a little smoke on the front stretch, but one to Chris Simon here trying to get around everybody.
Gary
Sitting in
Clune,
5th.
who touched the wall there.
Oh, yeah. St. Cour just fell back to 5th place. Kevin Thompson's going to take the lead. Adam Thompson is 2nd place now. As we're trying to do a quick run through, things have shaken up.
Did something happen with Andrew there?
I have nothing that shows up here on my side. Kevin Thompson got a lead by only by about a second right now. We'll see if we can flash back to that really quick. I don't want to take away too much from this action here, but
I just pulled it back. Andrew St. Cour almost lost it. He almost ran through the grass.
that was probably the smoke I was seeing. Yeah, that is exactly what it is. Gets it back on the track, going to lose a few spots.
I mean, that's an unbelievable save, but...
So now if you're Adam Thompson, the math's out of the equation.
Yeah, now it's just race down Kevin Thompson.
Yeah, and I'm kind of comfortable if I'm him sitting right where I'm at for a few laps, maybe till about lap 180, 185, and then just turn the jets on. You're catching them right now as it is.
And now Andrew St. Cour is in the position where, already being on the 10-lap older tires, now he's got to turn the burners on and try to get back up there in contention. And you can't really discount, again, unbelievable save right there to not end up on the inside wall, but all that jerking of the wheel and trying to save that and locking the brakes up, I mean, that's going to affect your tires as well.
Yeah, it'll slow you down, heat them up. I'm seeing Kevin Thompson take the high side here, and I think we kind of underestimated Kevin Thompson here tonight. Had really good practice laps, and we just out here leading some laps, running near the front all night long.
Kevin led a lot of the laps in the beginning of the race between him and Zach Miller.
Another guy I know we never give enough credit to, back here in P3, and Eric Warman. As soon as I say that, Adam Thompson trying to look to the outside, going to flash back inside. On the bumper.
Looking for his lane, and I think he found it. He's going to go to the inside of Kevin Thompson here. And he is going to regain the lead here with 25 to go. Oh, and both him and Kevin Thompson are going to touch the wall right there. Adam Thompson with what I would describe as a rye tone. It says, "Watch out for that wall, Kevin."
Oh, that was close. Eric Warman's going to try to get around Kevin Thompson here.
Oh, and Warman has to swerve to get off the wall there.
I'll say it.
Core trying.
I like long races. I think long races are cool.
Oh, it's fun. It's a good time.
Maybe not Daytona or Talladega, but mile-and-a-half tracks like this, yeah. A little bit of strategy, a little bit of thinking.
And you can definitely tell these guys have put a lot of thought in on their runs here tonight. And tell you what, if Adam Thompson, wants to bring this thing home, he's getting awfully close to touching the wall a couple different times there. And he's now got a pretty good gap on Kevin Thompson, about 0.7 of a second. But I believe Eric Warman still has something in the tank for him.
See if we can pull these deltas between Eric Warman and Adam Thompson. And it looks like over the course of the 6-lap average, Thompson has gained some time over top of him, but I'm not going to count out Eric Warman for this race at all. Not a chance.
Absolutely not.
I would be foolish.
Already know he can be very successful at Charlotte. Won the Tuesday night race here in the Gen 4s at Charlotte. That was broadcast over on Intensity Broadcasting. Be sure you check them out. And Eric Warman just kind of the king of just sitting back and biding his time and then making a huge leap. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, Eric Warman, he was like 18th a minute ago. Now he's 4th.
I feel like every league has a guy like that just sits back, waits, patient, conservative, and then at the end, just right there at the front.
So with 20 to go here, Adam Thompson has worked his way back up to the front and is currently leading this thing. Got almost 0.3 of a second of a lead on Eric Warman. Kevin Thompson now going to be about 1.2 seconds off the pace of the leader. And Andrew St. Cyr has gotten back around Christopher Simon and is in the 4th position, but he is about 2 seconds back. Still very much in competition for this thing, but I think if I'm Andrew here, it's like you got to kind of reshuffle your plans. You had a strategy. Everything was kind of going according to plan, and then that little slide there kind of threw things off. Now you're fighting your way back on the already older tires, and now you got to try to run down 3 actually very fast cars in Kevin Thompson, Eric Warman, and Adam Thompson.
I mean, Warman is coming. He is there.
He has closed that 0.3 of a second gap now to be right on the bumper of Adam Thompson. I have to wonder if I'm Adam Thompson, if I'm trying to take it a little bit easy right here, try to sacrifice a few laps led to cool him down, to have some push at the end, or even if at this point, if it even matters at all.
Well, I think the whole question becomes just how much, if you're Thompson, you have to wonder how much Warman has saved. And if I'm Thompson, and I've raced with Warman before, I'm thinking all of it.
He hasn't burnt them at all.
Yeah. It looks like Warman's been on the stint for 41 laps. Thompson's been out here for 38. So 38 and 42 now as they cross the stripe there. So just a little bit different. Warman got a little bit older tires.
But Thompson was also letting it eat for about 10 laps there to try to gain back the time.
You ready for some more Doghouse trivia?
Sure.
Oh, Warman's in the
Warman
wall.
hits the wall there.
Holds on to it. He's going to fall back to about 0.4 seconds.
Not what you wanted if you were Warman there. Now you got to push it a little bit harder. I think it's hugely important for Warman here to be as close as he can to the bumper of Thompson. You want to be pushing a guy who you know probably has been burning him up a little bit more than you have. You want to keep making him feel that pressure, keep him burning those things up, keep the heat on those tires, so they come lap 195, 196, you can start making your move.
Yeah, looks like Warman hit the wall again coming out of that corner. 15 to go. With 15 to go, Doghouse Racing League trivia. Who has the most amount of passes, total passes this season?
That's run at least 10 races?
We'll say 10 or more races.
Because I want to say it's not a guy who's on the track right now.
Who do you got?
Josh Cully.
Currently third in most passes. Two of the guys are on the track right now.
Eric Warman's got to be one.
Yep.
Oh, this is hard. Zach Miller.
It's a great guess, but it is Kevin Thompson, the leader.
Kevin Thompson.
The leader in Doghouse Racing League with the most passes this season. Second place being Eric Warman for the most passes.
Josh Cully third.
Yep, and it just goes to show you just saving up a little bit, buying your time, and letting it rip there at the end. I mean, Thompson has 596 passes total before tonight's race. Warman has 508, so that's a big difference there too.
Yep. And we have 12 to go, and it is about to get interesting. Adam Thompson still leading this thing. Got a half a second now of a lead on Eric Warman. Andrew St. Cyr has fought his way around Kevin Thompson, his teammate in beast mode performance, to get back into third place. What does he have left in the tank to try to run down these top two guys?
Yeah, he's gained about a second the past 6 laps here. Still closing that gap between him and the leader.
I mean, you're talking about, it's such an interesting dichotomy here because Adam Thompson, when he is on, I think is easily one of the fastest drivers that we have in the Doghouse Racing League. I mean, when he turns it on, I mean, you just see him fly around guys. But then behind him, you've got two of what I would argue are the most calculated drivers in the Doghouse Racing League. We talk about all the time how careful both Eric Warman and Andrew St. Cyr are to save tires, to make sure they have something saved at the end of the race, to be able to push their way forward. Warman usually kind of working his way more from further back in the pack. Andrew St. Cyr often been qualifying very good through this year. So very, very interesting to see how this is going to go. Now you got Warman and St. Cyr battling for that second position. St. Cyr's going to get it back. 8 laps to go.
Looking back into the pack here, Zach Miller and Clune are the next closest two guys together, battling for a position. I actually got Wilkerson and Anderson kind of battling out here too, as Wilkerson's going to take that pass around Brown. That is not going to be for a position.
Andrew St. Cyr is noticeably gaining time on Adam Thompson here.
He shrunk that thing to about 0.2 seconds here. He's gaining quickly. Oh my goodness.
He turned the jets on. You have to wonder if that's that Adam Thompson has burnt him up or if he was trying to save. But
yep.
Either way, Andrew St. Cyr right there to the bumper.
How does 10 lap older tires though, running it down like that? It's pretty incredible. Oh, St. Cyr cutting through the grass there.
All the way to the bottom. He got loose again. I think he hit that bump.
Turn 4 here is a hard corner to get out of. I mean, it's kind of deceptive there. Just the way it cuts in back on you, you're pushing the gas, trying to float up high, and the corner just comes out and grabs you. On a smaller scale, it's a little bit like Dover. A larger scale, it's about like Turn 4 at Texas.
I mean, he is right back there, though.
Ripping that high side.
Lap car out in front. I don't know that high side helped out St. Cyr there. It looked like he lost a little bit of time right there. But man, does he gain that time back on entry.
Yeah, Thompson's got to stay cool here. Remember, you got to drive out the windshield. You can't drive out the rearview mirror. Run your race, run your line.
Just got to keep running your race.
Ooh.
Looked like Thompson started a little higher than he wanted to be there. Allowed St. Croix to gain a ton of time back.
I don't know if he was trying a different line to try to diamond out or if he just overran it.
He is now having to cover the bottom side to keep Andrew St. Croix from getting a run. Looked like Thompson touched the wall right there. 3 to go.
Little bump there.
St. Croix almost had a run there. Thompson just got enough of a block down.
Yeah, you see on that last lap, St. Croix was gaining in 1 and 2, but Thompson pulling away in 3 and 4. See if it's the same way on this lap here. So get around this lap traffic here. Thompson faster in both corners on that one.
Thompson touches the wall again. They are both around the lap cars. It is just Adam Thompson and Andrew St. Croix in about 0.3 of a second of time. B-Mac in the comments. Come on, Andrew. Oh, my nerves. How do you think we feel up here in the booth? What a race this has been.
Looking at these sector times, it looks like St. Croix is going to gain both 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 there.
We cross the stripe again, lap 199. Thompson goes to the bottom of the track. Trying to block for all it's worth. St. Croix right back to the bumper.
He's got to hold that low side. Don't give him any space.
St. Croix definitely wanting to go toward that low side. They take the white flag here. 1 to go.
Oh, no. Got to push it out here.
Thompson and St. Croix side by side. Racing it out. Who has the faster car to finish this thing?
He's going to try to cross him up here. I don't think he's going to have the momentum to get it, though. Looking outside. Thompson's going to try it. Oh, so close. St. Croix is going to win.
St. Croix is going to bring it home in first. What a race at the end of that thing.
Eric Warman coming home in P3. Kevin Thompson in 4th. And Chris Simon rounding out your top 5. But congrats to Andrew St. Croix. We've said it a lot. Been knocking on the door for a while. And gets it done here tonight in the last turn.
Gets it done in the last turn. What a race. What a race. Just pure talent out of both of those guys there. Beautiful job on both sides. Thompson getting a little bit loose there going into turn 4. St. Croix taking it over and Thompson trying for everything that was worth to get it back. Margin of victory for Andrew St. Croix is going to be 0.021.
Wow. What a win. I mean, Thompson was giving it all she's got. And props to him.
By Adam.
Yeah, props to him. Had a great run tonight, too. Eric Warman getting that 3rd place spot.
So consistent tonight, man.
Yeah. Thompson's going to bring it home 4th. I'm trying to pull up the rest of the results here as we wait for some of our drivers to come up here to the booth. The Shoney's 300 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kevin Thompson finishing up 4th place. Chris Simon and that Shoney's team finishing 5th. Gary Clune in 6th. Zach Miller 7th. Daniel Wilkerson 8th place. Eric Anderson in 9th. Adam Gardner in 10th. Tony Martin's going to finish up 11th. Mike Leftwich 12th. Stephen Bonomo 13th. Kevin Brown 14th. Nick Atwood 15th. 16th is going to be Mark Dumont, followed by Justin McMahon in 17th. Jamie Horn in 18th. I believe we have, one more driver after that, if I'm not mistaken.
Bill Gentry.
I can't even get my thing to move to the next one. There we go. Yeah, Bill Gentry's going to finish up 19th place tonight. Joe McKnight did not start the race tonight, as well as Cameron King did not start this race tonight. Kind of a starting park, I guess, for them.
Yeah, starting park. But B-Mac in the comments, OMG, way to go, Andrew. Lots of red hearts. Andrew, hope you are able to go back and watch this and feel the love coming through the broadcast that was out here for you. What a run. I mean, that's a classic right there. Adam Thompson fighting his way all the way back, getting in contention. Andrew St. Cyr fighting his way back after coming about 6 inches away from putting it on the inside wall here at Charlotte. Fights his way back, still has enough tires to run down Adam Thompson, getting around him, and then Thompson almost finding a way back around him. Again,
Let's go back.
2/100ths of a second.
Flashback to that final lap here as these guys coming around. Thompson taking that high side there, going to try to cross him up. Get a good run out on the low side, but sticks to the high side. That was a close finish there. I mean, they were right there at it.
2/100ths of a second, man. What a run. What a run. That's got to go down in the books, man. That was a classic. My heart rate's up. And if my heart rate's up, I cannot imagine how B-Mac feels, or if anyone's out there that was rooting for the 71 of Adam Thompson. I can't imagine how y'all feel following that one. My Apple Watch was already yelling at me saying my heart rate was up.
Not the Apple Watch. Well, we do have Eric Warman sitting here in the waiting room, so I'm going to go ahead and pull him up.
Let's do it.
And Eric, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yep, got a copy.
Hey, man, congrats on third place tonight. Finished first here Tuesday night in the Gen 4 cars with the Intensity broadcast. Kind of hope to see you come out here and do a, was it 2-for-1? I guess 2 times in a week. But got really close. Tell us how the car was handling near the end there.
Well, we just never stayed up on the adjustments. Car just kept on getting tighter and tighter. It'd start out free, then go really loose, and then get tight. And just at the end there, just burnt up that right front way too much. I think I had it down to 36%. But holding on to it, so praise the Lord for that.
Absolutely, man. You were kind of, well, you do this every week, I guess. It's kind of become your MO. You're kind of near the back and just find your way up the front, just saving tires and everything. Is this something like a strategy you think about before the race? Is how well you save? I think in this league, you're objectively one of the best tire savers in the league. Is this something you practice or think about every week?
I never really, until like this season, did I ever put a qualifying setup in, so I'd always qualify with my race set. And I'll thank the Lord tonight I qualified P5. I don't think I'd be able to drive through all that mayhem, but it was sure a fun race though tonight. But usually in officials, I'll start in the back or try to start in the back and work my way to the front. I seem to do better if I got somebody to chase.
I understand that completely. It was a good points night for you tonight. You came into this race 8th in the points, only 5 behind Kevin Thompson, finishing in front of him. Jennings did not start tonight. Parrish did not start tonight. McMahon was out pretty early on. So is Jamie Horn, and Fitzpatrick did not start tonight. So you should move up pretty high up into the points here, which, I mean, well deserved. You've been running pretty well all season long. But we didn't get to talk to you at North Wilkesboro last week. Can you tell us about that track a little bit?
We didn't run North Wilkesboro last week. We
Or
They skipped that and went to what is Atlanta.
Atlanta, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, we were supposed to do North Wilkesboro, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. It was trying to pull up our schedule here for the next race that we have. And my schedule is all mixed up right now. But we're going to Nashville, not next week, but the week after on June 5th. What are your thoughts on Nashville?
It's going to be about probably saving tires and trying to find a setup that's not going to burn them off too much there, and being able to make a second lane when you have to make a pass. Sometimes you got to practice to go where nobody else will go.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, do you got any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I want to thank our Lord Jesus Christ for saving a sinner such as me, and want to thank my wife and kids, and thank the F5 Motorsports got a second and third. I was hoping for a first and second, but want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and I want to thank all the admin and Daniel especially for putting on the league.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations again. Good points tonight, man. You're definitely going to move up, and looking forward to having you up here, not next week, but the week after when we head to Nashville.
All right, sounds good. Well, you have a great night.
Yes, sir. You too. This could be Eric Warman, your third place finisher tonight here at the Shoney's 300 at Charlotte. Like every week, man, just kind of just finds his way up in the front. It's very fast near the end. Good long run speed. And we say it a lot. It doesn't matter how many laps you lead early on. It's about leading that last lap, which St. Core did a great example of that tonight. So, yeah, I also thought we were supposed to go to North Wilkesboro last week. We didn't get a chance to broadcast there, but they did switch over to Atlanta because some changes with the iRacing system, I believe, or something. But I don't really like the new Atlanta, but I was hoping that these guys ran at North Wilkesboro and get some thoughts on that, especially with the race that just happened there last week. And everybody has mixed opinions about. But coming up next to the booth, I do have Adam Thompson here, your second place finisher. See if we can get him pulled up to the booth. Hey, Adam, you got a copy with us?
What's up, boys?
How you doing, man? Welcome back up here to the podium booth post-race interview.
Yeah, that's how you ruin a race. Slide up on the 1 and 2 on the last lap and give the bottom lane to the dude in second.
I mean, it looked like you had a rocket ship out there for the most part all night long. Do you think the tires were wearing on you just a little bit at the end?
All right, well, let's just be honest. I got pissed off and had about 60 laps to go, and so I drove PO'd and cooked the front right, and I shouldn't have done that.
I didn't want to
Yeah,
say
I
it up
mean-
here, but I thought that might have been the case after something like we saw happen, and kind of drive a little angry for a few laps.
Yeah, I was just like, dude, I only had 2 laps left on my tires. He had brand new tires. I mean, he and I already talked about this, and we're all good, so I'm not airing any dirty laundry, but I'm just like, 2 seconds a lap, probably faster than me. I'm like, just rip the high line. But it is what it is. It worked out.
Yeah, I mean, that was a incredible finish. I think it's probably one of our closest finishes that we've had this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to go look. So, yeah, how much separation was there, you think? An
200.
inch?
200s.
Oh, 200s.
I mean, you were gaining back on that high side there at the very end. Were you trying to cross him up coming out of 4, or were you?
Yeah, that was my only hope at that point. And then I was going to wreck him, but I didn't.
No, props for you guys for keeping it straight there at the end and not causing a wreck or anything like that, because that would have made a few people unhappy. Might have made some people behind you a little bit happy, but
Yeah.
overall,
It was a cool lap. It was a cool couple laps, though. I mean, we were door to door on the last one. I mean, I'm sure it looked good. I can't wait to watch it back.
yeah. I also want to ask you about that pit strategy you had. You stayed out about 10 laps longer than everybody else. Was that by design, or you just noticed that you were still getting out there in front of people?
Yeah, I mean, I knew my car was good on the long run, so I was just just to explain the race, I was trying to run 30.4 every lap. I just figured out that was like the perfect lap time to, maintain your speed but not burn your stuff up. And if I could keep it at 30.4, eventually I was going to catch everybody and pass them. So yeah, I stayed out 10 laps longer. I don't really. I do know why. I really wanted to make sure I had enough fuel, and I think I had maybe 5 laps left in the tank when I finished. So I probably could have pitted a few laps sooner, but yeah, it worked out.
Yes, sir. We'll go into Nashville next week. How do you feel about Nashville?
That's a good question. Nashville for me is mediocre, so we'll see. I was really excited for tonight because I'm usually good at Charlotte, but yeah, we'll see. Nashville's fun though. Isn't it pretty flat? I can't even remember. Or not really.
I don't think Nashville Super Speedway is. I know the fairgrounds is, and I think we race.
Is there something weird with Nashville Super Speedway? I feel like there's something weird. I don't know.
There probably
Maybe
is.
it eats up tires or something. I don't remember. But yeah, whatever. We'll go. We'll try to win it. What are you guys up to? How you doing?
Oh, just up here broadcasting, having a good time, looking at good racing. Yeah, it's good racing out there, man. We appreciate the show that you guys put on.
Well, I'm glad we got a couple cautions to tighten it up there a few times. I was afraid there for a minute. We went green so long there at the beginning. I thought we might go green the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tuesday night. Did you race Tuesday night in the Gym Force?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, I was out of town. What happened there?
We had one caution that I was involved in, and then green flag for the rest of it, and that's usually how it goes. When I need a caution, we don't get one, but
dang it, man.
I'd rather go green to green as it is. I always say that, so I can't complain too much about it. But
no.
And
you guys got any plans for Memorial Weekend?
We're actually going to Charlotte. The Nat Daddy boys are going to be in Charlotte. If anybody wants to hang out, anybody that's out there wants to hang out in Charlotte with us, we might have.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll have stickers.
I can't wait to watch Cletus.
Oh yeah, that's where we'll be at Friday night, tomorrow night actually, and Saturday.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yes, sir. But
you guys are gonna have a great time. Yeah, I'm planning on going to Bristol, I think, to watch Cletus. So.
Oh yeah, that'll be a good one. That'll be a show.
That's what I'm shooting for. So get your tickets. Let's all go.
Yeah, you might catch us out there.
All right. Well, thanks for the interview. Thanks for putting on the show, and thanks to the Doghouse for hosting this, and thanks to Ryko for the setup, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Actually, are we off? We're off next week.
2 weeks.
Right?
Yep, off next week and back the week after.
Yep. So I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. We look forward to it.
And congrats, Andrew, on the win, by the way. I should say that. I do. I do mean that. So thank you.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right. See you, boys.
Adam Thompson, second place finisher, always putting on a good show. I love doing interviews with him.
It's just the classic NASCAR Talladega Nights interview every time you talk to Adam. It's always a good time.
And he does like Cletus too, so that makes a lot of sense. But coming up,
that we get to see Cletus in the Arcas.
Oh yeah, but coming up now, I don't want to keep him waiting too much longer. Your race winner, Andrew St. Coeur. Andrew, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yeah, we got you.
Well, congratulations, man. You've been knocking on the door for weeks now, and pulled it off tonight in stunning fashion. I think that was our closest finish. Hunter, what'd you say the time was?
0.021.
Wow, that was how close the finish was. But
I did everything I could do to give that race away tonight.
well, yeah, we saw you coming across and hitting the wall a few times, and then decided to check out how the line ran in the grass. I don't think that line was the best line, but you figured it out and got there to the front.
Yeah, I hit the grass a couple times, and I lost it on pit road. I don't know if you saw that in the broadcast, but
oh, I did not see that one.
Yeah, on my pit stop, the last pit stop, I exited my box and completely. I was looking at the start finish line, and then I had to, but I didn't loop it all the way around. I only did a 180, and then I stopped and then straightened it back out. Didn't hit the grass, so I didn't have an unsafe pit exit or anything like that. But it was I probably lost 4 or 5 seconds on pit road. It was pretty crazy, but we got it done. I'm pretty excited. I don't know when the last win I had. I think it's probably been, feels like it's been a couple of years. So I think I got the monkey off my back finally. So.
Oh yeah, sometimes all it takes is one and it starts stacking on top of each other here in the next few weeks. But I was going to ask you about running them down at the very end. You had 10 lap older tires, and then found yourself in a little trouble there. I think with 10 or 15ish to go, falling back to 5th and able to just drive all the way back to the front. Tell us how that experience was like.
Yeah, that was. I think I had almost a 2 second gap on Kevin for in front, and I lost it off 4, and that's when I went through the grass and did everything I could do to hang on to it, and then I just really kind of moved out of the way and tried to let everybody get by me because I had to cool down my tires. They were scorching, and honestly, that last pit stop, I made an adjustment to loosen the car, and I definitely went too far with it. I was hanging on for dear life for what I did 67 laps on that stint, and I would say for 55 of those laps, I was just hanging on. It was everything I could do not to lose it off 4. And then for whatever reason, those final 10 laps or so, or final 5 laps, it just started hooking up for me. And I just couldn't believe that I was able to make that pass at the end. When I was talking to Adam there before the interview, and he was pretty tight, he said, and just the way I got underneath him in 1 on the final lap, I was shocked. Like, it was a little bit, oh my goodness, is this actually happening? Like, I didn't think that by any stretch of the imagination that I was going to be able to get under him there. But then I could hold it. I held it off 4 that final lap, and I knew it was going to be close. But anyway, I was pretty happy. So, but Adam, he ran me really clean and really hard, and I really appreciate that too. And Eric did as well. So it was a lot of fun tonight.
Oh yeah, a lot of talent on display out there, especially those last few laps. You guys battling out makes it an easy show for us to broadcast. Really, we don't have to talk much. Just everybody just has to watch, and we can shut up and let people enjoy it. But no, man, it was actually really fun to watch. It's one of our closest finishes we've seen this season, and happy that you're able to pull it off and get your win here. I think we were throwing up some Doghouse Racing League trivia here during the broadcast, and I think it was you have the most or the highest average starts, and I think the second highest average finishes. So,
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah, so
I know I've had some polls this year, and
yeah,
and
no,
that's not my MO in past years. Honestly, I typically more conservative early and try to be long run. But this year I qualified good, which is good, but then I find sometimes I'm not aggressive enough when I'm out front, and then I lose track position and put myself in some precarious situations at times. So maybe it's an omen tonight. I didn't start well, and maybe that's what I should do from now on. So.
yeah, you are actually number 1 in polls too, with the most amount of polls this season. But you're talking about not starting well. I was going to ask you about that early in the race. We're talking really early in the race, first stage actually. Back in probably like 14th-ish place at that time. Were you trying to save there, or just kind of pace and see how everybody else was going to drive?
Yeah, so the first I was pretty committed when I started the race. I'm thinking 14th or 15th, wherever I started. At that point, Gary was behind me, Gary Clune, teammate, and we were just chatting, and we were just chilling. Honestly, we knew the leaders were gapping everybody, but we did feel pretty confident that the race wasn't going to go green from start to finish. So I felt as though that we would just get 15, 20 laps on our tires. It ended up being close to 30, and then I started making some moves. I think I got up to 9th or making the pass for 9th, and unfortunately one of the guys got loose on the outside off 4 and came down and got into me unintentionally. I mean, I got loose many times off 4, so I know what it's like. And it gave me some I think I had 53 seconds of nose damage, or for whatever reason, when I got hit on the side. And but it made me super tight that first stint, so I was really banking on a caution, and I got it, thankfully. And then I was able to. I think I started 9th on that restart. I couldn't believe I didn't lose more spots on the fixing the damage, but I think there were a lot of cars that had pitted and got caught laps down. So I was pretty committed to staying out. I was going to try to run the car dry, honestly, to try to get a caution. And thankfully, it was a timely caution, and it came my way, and I was able to fix the damage. And then after that, of course, I was more, a little further forward in the pack, and I could be probably a little bit more aggressive. I think there were some cars out that stayed out that had older tires, and I was able to get by them. Anyway, it all worked out. It couldn't have gone any better. I definitely got lucky tonight, though, on a few instances for sure. But I'm glad it worked out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you said that too, because we were wondering during the race. We saw you in pit road and had the timer up, and it was a little bit longer than we thought. So we figured you had some damage to repair. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
yeah. So anyway, it was a lot of fun, guys. I can't wait to go back and watch it. And I gotta listen. I gotta call out incident there that I had with Adam too in the race. I don't know when it was. I think it was a lap or two before he pitted on the final pit stop, and I think it was just honestly miscommunication, or I thought he was staying more mid, and he kind of irked down, and I was under him, and anyway, I probably should have been a little more conservative or gone high there. So I already did apologize to him in person, but I definitely want to call out the that unfortunate incident. I definitely, obviously, never intend to do that. Adam's always a great guy to race with, and I would never do that intentionally. But I think he knows that, and we'll just move forward. He had a good finish, so I'm glad he did.
yeah. I think he expressed the same kind of feelings there too. Just a little miscommunication. Everything's worked out. So happy to hear it because it's really good racing. We look forward to seeing more good racing like that in the future between you guys. So
Yeah, it's funny because coming down to the end, that's in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, I almost wrecked him. And what am I going to do here on the final lap? I wasn't going to do anything silly. Literally, if I didn't get that move on him on the final lap, I was literally going to be stuck behind him, and I was not going to put the bumper to him. There's no way I was going to try to get him loose or anything like that. Like, I was just going to settle in and take second and then not sleep tonight because I would have been thinking, what if?
yeah, absolutely. Well,
But anyway, it worked out. So
well, before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
yeah, I got to thank the team Beast Mode Performance. A great group of guys. So a lot of the guys aren't in this league, but we work together hard on putting sets together. Got to thank the teammates in this league as well. We always put in practice time together and help work on stuff. And they're a great group of guys. And got to thank the league. Don't want to forget anybody here. It's been a while since I've done this. So Daniel and Jamie. I got to know Jamie pretty good recently or this year, and James is a great guy, and all the other admins as well. And then of course I got a shout out to BMAC, who's my mother, if you haven't figured that out. I think she watches every week, so I've already had some text messages from her. So I think I haven't read them yet, but I suspect she's happy, which is great. Mom's happy, everybody's happy. So
Yeah, she is thrilled. I'm more happy for her than for you, honestly.
she shows up even on the weeks I'm not here, so just to cheer. I know last week she was wondering where the race was. I was in Aruba on vacation, and she was messaging where's the race, and but of course there was no race last week. So, but yeah. So
Well,
anyway, I think that's pretty well it. Oh, I got to thank you guys. Like, thanks for the broadcast. I can't wait to go back and watch it again, and I can't wait to get my the player card or whatever it is that you do up every week.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be yeah. I'll put that as my screensaver or my background on my PC for sure.
oh
So,
yeah, we'll get you hooked up with that. So, but congrats again, man, on the win. Like you said, been knocking the door for a while. It seems fitting that you get it here tonight in spectacular fashion. So, looking forward to seeing you up here, not next week, but the week after at Nashville.
awesome. All right, you take care, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Take care, man. Congrats.
All right, later.
And just to be honest, I mean that with my whole entire heart. I am more happy for BMAC in the comments than I am for. I think Andrew would appreciate that too. But man, she's been here every week, showing up and showing out.
No, just always like the first one in the comments, cheering for not only Andrew, and understandably it's his mother, but for the entire team, and always just putting such positive comments out there. It's always so much fun to have her in the comments, and glad that she got to see Andrew bring one home, and Andrew as well, such a nice guy. And I'm glad to hear Andrew and Adam both were able to kind of squash that, just kind of some miscommunication there. I really enjoyed personally just watching both of them race. It was such a good run at the end there, and to see them kind of be able to put the pass behind them and just race at the end there, I think says a lot about the character of both of those two guys. And I mean, I think that's a classic. That was such a good time. I know you and me have talked about it before, where you know, the beauty of us broadcasting is that we get to be fans and get to kind of get the front row seat and just talk about it while everything's going on. And not only as fans of the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series, but just personally as fans of both of those guys, being able to see that race at the end there was a real treat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We kind of get invested in this stuff too, knowing the drivers and looking up the trivia as they're going on along the race. I might start throwing some trivia in the comments for the later weeks coming up for see who can guess some things right in the comments. But yeah, fantastic race. Before we get out of here, do you want to read off our sponsors for us really quick?
I definitely can do that, but again, just huge shout out to our series sponsor for this year, Group 6. We appreciate them so much for making sure that everything stays up and running over here and being a supporter of the Doghouse Racing League. Group 6 is a leading creative agency. They're passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence, and be sure to explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com and see how they can drive your digital success. Again, huge shout out to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year. You were just treated to watching the Shoney's 300 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Shout out to Shoney's for being our race sponsor tonight. Doghouse Racing, as always, is very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Make sure you stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. I said it at the beginning of the race. Shoney's holds a very special place in my heart. When my family moved back from Knoxville, Tennessee to Roanoke, Virginia, one of the places that we had right near us as a family of four kids that didn't always have a ton of money, but parents always try to take care of us. One of the places that was always open and always welcoming was Shoney's, and I just remember thinking Shoney's was the best thing ever. I was an 8-year-old kid. I could go eat as much bacon as I wanted. This is a memory that sticks with me to this day. So being able to read an ad for Shoney's seems like a pretty full circle moment for me. So I'm pretty proud about that. But again, thank you to Shoney's for being a sponsor, both of the Doghouse Racing League and of this race. And then again, huge shout out to Butt Kicker. Be sure to check out their website at thebuttkicker.com for the very best in racing haptics. If you want to take your racing experience to the next level, be sure to check them out and pick yourself up something from Butt Kicker today. Thank you to Butt Kicker for being a sponsor of the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series. And then the little shameless self-plug that we get to do at the end of every race. Myself and John make up Nap Daddy Racing. We are very proud to be up here as part of the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series up here in the booth, but we do a lot more than that. Originally started as a iRacing design shop. We've expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for all of your iRacing needs. Be sure to check out the website at napdaddyracing.com. That's KNAPPDADDYRACING.com for any custom design, template, or logo needs. And be sure to check out some of the free content that is available on the website as well. And even if you're not into iRacing, but you just want to help support the boys, we have some t-shirts for sale as well as some hats. We would really appreciate the support. Check us out here on Doghouse Racing TV every single Thursday night. Not next Thursday night, but the week after at Nashville. We are on our own channel on Monday nights and live on TikTok as often as we possibly can. Or if you happen to find yourself in the general vicinity of Charlotte Motor Speedway this weekend, look out for the guys in the Nap Daddy Racing t-shirts. We'll say hi. We'll probably buy you a beer. But either way, we are very proud to be a part of the Doghouse Racing League and be up here in the booth. Again, thank you to everyone for tuning in. Such a great race and such great engagement in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to Doghouse Racing TV if you haven't yet, to make sure you don't miss a second of any of the action that we have. either here on Thursday nights or on Monday nights as well. John, do you have anything else?
Nah, man, I think you pretty much covered it. We will not be back here next Thursday night. We'll have the week off, and I believe that the Truck Series on Monday night and Gym 4s next Tuesday night will have the week off as well, but we'll be back the Thursday after that right here at 7:45 at Nashville Motor Speedway, seeing these guys go out here and run it back again. Andrew St. Cyr trying to capitalize on that, maybe get him a second victory there, kind of like a domino effect. So I'm excited to go out there and see, but I love Charlotte. This is a good race. I know a lot of people were worried about the length of the race, but I think it made a really good program. So,
oh, it was an insane show. It was so good.
Yep. So, with that said, we're going to head out of here. Thanks to everybody that's joined us tonight, everybody in the comments. I think Hunter covered it. Like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And we will see you in 2 weeks. So, for the last time tonight, I have been John.
And I've been Hunter.
And we will see you guys next time.
Take care, everyone.